Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto threatens the council. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. In a time where things were simple, there were 5 great elemental nations that existed and were in an unsettled peace. That peace was broken 3 times due to the wars of the hidden ninja villages of the great nations. It seemed that only one nation seemed to be always the winner. That was the village hidden in the leaves in the land of fire. This was where a village called Konohagakure was located. Eventually the world was quiet of wars. All the villages prospered and grew, everything seemed quiet. To be honest, that is what scared the blonde and purple-eyed man who in the Third Ninja War had personally changed the fate of the war. Using only 2 jutsus, the Hiraishin no Jutsu and Rasengan, he was successful in killing 1,000 shinobi from the village hidden in the stone. Which the Tsuchikage did something unheard of. He laid down arms to Minato, a simple jonin, not even to the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. Which ended the war and brought a peace to the nations. Soon after the war, Minato Nazumaki became the 4th Hokage of the village hidden in the leaves. This was 2 years in the past. He was now married and preparing for something special. To Minato, it was too quiet. That was till he heard the screaming of his wife as she was having troubles bringing his son into the world, while keeping her tenant in check at the same time. "Minato, when this is over, I'm killing you for getting me pregnant," screamed a blood-red-haired woman, who was squeezing his hand with a pressure to break solid steel. Which is understandable since she was tied for strongest female ninja in the world. Her strength was a match for the female Sanin Tsunade Senju, which was her cousin. This woman's name was Kushina. Her sapphire blue eyes pierced his purple Rinnegan eyes. He whispered soothing words in her ears, telling her she is almost there and that Naruto will be in her arms soon. All in the hopes that he could get his hands away from her insane grip. Then work on helping with the seal that held the 9 tails inside her. Just as he said that, their baby's screams were heard. He wasn't even out of the womb completely yet. This goes to show he was meant for great things. Soon the nurse grabbed him and cleaned him up, and then the nurse that was there brings them their child. Soon as they had him in their arms, he was gone like he never was there. A man in a orange swirled one-eyed mask appeared by the door with Naruto in his arms. Minato jumped up and drew his 3-pronged kunai he always kept on him. Minato then calmly asked the man, "What are you doing with my son? How did you even find this place? No one even knew where we were, so no one could tell." The masked man simply throws the baby towards the wall in a way to separate Minato from his target. He yells loudly and with a husky, twisted voice, "I am here for the fox demon in your wife's seal. So you will let me take it for your son's life." Minato jumps to the baby. As he does, he teleports the baby to his house to protect him, and returns and sees that Kushina is gone, so is the man. The nurse, that was also the Lord Third Hokage's wife, is dead with a slit throat and a single stab wound to the chest through the heart. He activates the seal on Kushina's wrist to get to her and sees her chained to a rock and her shirt ripped from her stomach. Black ink spilling from her seal showing the 9 tails was gone. The man just finished pulling the 9 tails fox out of his wife, then yells, "I'm going to destroy that village you call home and you will die as well, Yellow Flash. You are useless to stop me and you get to watch as your village burns." Kushina was using her willpower to stay alive as she had some final things to tell Minato. "Minato, you have to seal the fox again. I know I am weak from the extraction, so seal it in our son and seal all of my chakra and mana in him, as well as all my knowledge. I know Kazu, the 9 tails, will protect him like she did me when I was young. Seal all her power, not half. Use this seal, please." With that, she handed him a paper with a seal matrix on it, extremely complicated looking. The ink from the stuff on her stomach. As she hands him the tags to him, he kisses her lips. She whispers her final living words. "I love you, Minato Nazumaki. Kami, please protect Naruto in his life, I beg you." Minato looked at his now dying wife. He recognizes the seals and says to Kushina, "I won't be coming back here. I will die to add 2 other seals to him. One being the Reaper Death Seal and the 16-pronged Beast Absorption Seal. There is no key cause Kazu will agree to be his protector and guide him. I love you, Kushina Uzumaki, with all my heart and soul. I will be seeing you soon." As Minato flashes away, Kushina draws her last breath and her eyes close, and as the goddess of death comes to claim her soul. Kushina's soul left her body and she looked at the goddess and saw the sad emotions on the goddess's face. She sheds a tear as she says to Kushina, "I will take your husband's soul, but I won't claim it so you two can watch from heaven and be together like you should be. I will help seal Kazu because your son has my blessings as well as my sisters and brothers. He will have gifts and summons unheard of in this world in over 10,000 years. Time to come home, my daughter, to where you have always belonged. I never could fool you, could I, my mother? I really wish I could be there for him every day. He is going to have a harder life than what I had." Kushina whispers as she embraces her real mother. From when she came down to earth to find love. As her soul leaves her body and she looks at the fox. She notices the pain in its eyes. As it stabs the fourth Hokage with its claw, trying to stop being sealed once again. The fox has tears as she regains control over herself soon as she stabbed Minato. The tears are flowing like waterfalls, from the fox's eyes like a floodgate opened. She sees the sealing start working and the chakra that is the fox is rushing into Naruto's stomach just like they planned. The death goddess then decides to do something. She brings Kushina over to the site so she can see that Naruto is okay. The seal appears on his stomach. They were surprised when the Uzumaki symbol and 8 marks surrounding appeared. Kushina tears pour down her cheeks and she leans down and applies some of her final chakra into him so she can come see him when he is older, and needs to see her again for any reason. As Kushina ascends to her new world in the sky to take her place with Minato. They follow the death goddess that is her mother when she walked the earth 44 years earlier to find true love. As they leave, a blinding light hits the altar that was holding her son. A suit of armor and cloak appear around him before disappearing, acting as an invisible armor till he releases and wears it permanently, and a giant scroll lands beside him. A scroll that he will be able to read when he is ready. Time skip 5 minutes after the sealing. The third Hokage was now currently holding a blonde baby that's sleeping in his arms. He was also looking at the body of Minato. The Anbu already had recovered Kushina's body from the rock she was chained to. As he holds him, he is thinking about the letter that was on his chest. The letter was written by his father to the third, it seemed like. He body flickered to the Hokage office to read the letter in private. "Dear Sarutobi, you old monkey. By the time you read this I have passed on. This is mine and Kushina's son. I know how the tailed beast's containers were and are treated. I want you to make sure he is treated like a hero. While keeping who his parents are a secret. Well, till he is strong enough to defend himself. That would protect him from the villages that would do anything to see him dead for being our son. I know you can guess Iwa and Kumo, but also the Sky Nation as well, thanks to Kushina's anger. Please don't let anyone treat him like a weapon and give him love. His godfather and godmother was supposed to be my sensei Jiraiya, the Toad Sanin, and Tsunade Senju, the Slug Queen and of elixirs. Now I realize that it would be impossible being the spy master and her running around gambling all the time. So now his godfather is Kakashi Hitaki, my only living student. His godmother is Anko Mitarashi. She will know his pain in times of need. She was picked by Kushina due to looking after her when Orochimaru left the village. He already has all his chakra and mana unlocked. Mana is another word for magic, since you were wondering. There are a few scrolls and books sealed in the medium solid black scroll at the house. The giant one beside him is one that is gifted from the gods and us. He is the grandson of the second Hokage and of the death goddess, which are Kushina's parents. He already has my eyes, the Rinnegan. He will figure that one on his own. He will have every bloodline open to him thanks to that. He will know exactly how to use them as well. The seal in which I used to hold the 9 tails will allow them to help each other and share chakra with no problems. She was controlled by a man claiming to Madara Uchiha. The 9 tails didn't want to attack. A masked man forced it to. Do not let this village treat him like he is the reincarnation. Remember, it was not any of the Uchihas in the village but a rogue one. My time here on this planet is done. Do me proud and keep him safe and tell him that we loved him. Also, I give you back the hat. Enjoy the office again, old monkey." Minato Nazumaki, the 4th Hokage of the village and proud father of Naruto. Have dreams and protect your honor. By the time the third finished the letter, tears were pouring down his face and on to the end of the lettered scroll. Then as the tears fall, a knock is heard at the door. He quickly wiped away the tears that were on his face. "Come in," he says in a pained voice, evident of him still crying. Lord Hokage-sama, the council has called a meeting about what happened. Also, they are all angry and out for Sensei's legacy's blood. As two Anbu with a dog and snake mask said in unison. The snake-masked Anbu looked to be really young, maybe 10. Let's get this future storm of paperwork out of the way. You two will report after this meeting in regular uniform, got that? We have something to discuss about Naruto. He says with teary eyes and an annoyed tone. A slight nod is all he gets for an answer from the two in front of him. He stands up and puts his hat and robes on over his battle armor. He shunshin no jutsu to the doors of the chambers in which the council meets. As he walks in, he feels the hate and he glances down in disgust at the hate for a baby that is not even an hour old. He felt some bile come up from that fact. Where is the Shinobi Council? Who called this meeting? I know that I, the third Hokage, sure didn't. He yells with fire in his eyes. He isn't taking shit today. It's been a sad day for him. He just lost the two he considered his adoptive kids. We called this meeting Lord Third. Due to the demon's attack. Also to call for the execution of the baby you hold. The fourth sealed at the baby to make it easy to kill. Screamed a pink-haired woman while glaring at the baby. While she held her own pink-haired baby, who was born only a week before. Listen here, Haruno. The third Hokage said with a glare that would destroy a soul with enough killer intent to drop a Jonin to their knees. Yet she didn't flinch, which kinda impressed him. Nothing will be decided till the Shinobi Council is here, since this is a clan issue. Due to the baby's heritage that will not be revealed. Just as the third finished saying that all the clans that call the hidden village their home, while 3 seats remain empty, the Namikaze, Senju, and finally the Uzumaki seat. Which was an unclaimed seat at all. The Uzumaki seat wasn't really a true clan of the Land of Fire, but since the wife of the first Hokage was an Uzumaki, the seat was available to anyone that wanted to claim being an Uzumaki and had all the tests and special abilities that the Uzumaki had. The males had stamina and god amount of chakra. Meanwhile, and the women had 3 special ones. One was chakra chains of sealing, the vampire kiss, and finally mastery of yin and yang release combined. Yi, the clan, was also responsible for the seals that protect Konohagakure from threats. The Senju seat has been empty for almost 40 years, since the last person to hold the seat was Tobirama Senju. Before he became Hokage and later died in the Second Great Ninja War. Before handing the hat to Sarutobi after being bait for his students to get away. The Nazumaki clan became a clan only because Minato became the Hokage. The Nazumaki family was an unheard of clan. Yet there was rumbling that they were an assassin clan from the land of demons, which was a bunch of islands. A land where criminals went for work and safety, since they also protected the people there. The first clan head to come in was from the Aburame, led by Shibi Aburame. The man always had a solid gray trench coat with a solid visor with 4 slits in for glasses. No one ever heard any emotions from the clan or heard them talk much. The clan uses bugs in a way that most find repulsive. They use them in an attack, defense, scouts, and in getting information. They did this by letting them reside in their bodies, so they eat their chakra. In turn, they will attack for them and steal the chakra from others to give back to the host. The next was the Akamichi clan, who currently lead by the solid man named Choza. The clan uses the yang release to increase their size of their bodies and weapons for battle. They have a taboo that's dealing with their weight. Calling them fat causes a rage that won't stop till their opponents are dead or knocked out. They had a famous team combo with 2 other clans, the Nara and Yamanaka clan. They made the Ino Shika Cho team famous in the Third Ninja War. Due to how well they supported each other in the war. The next man that walked in was Inoichi Yamanaka, head of his clan of Mind Walkers. That are mostly meant for interrogation and torture for the most part anyways. They also are great in battle to use as scouts and infiltration. They are also part of the Ino Shika Cho formation. Have been friends and battle brothers with the other clan heads of the respect clans. The Nara clan head came in next with a tired look that is a permanent look on his name is Shikaku Nara, a man with 2 scars on the right side of his face. His clan uses the shadow, yin style. The clan's style is to use shadows to bind and kill opponents before they can do anything. The males of the clan are all lazy and always try to sleep. Yet their IQ is nothing to joke about, almost always over 200. They are geniuses and battle strategists on and off the field of battle. He is the leader of the trio of the formation. He is also Jonin battle commander and only answers to the Hokage. Then a woman with wild spiky brown hair with feral dog almost wolfish features. Her name is Sume Inuzuka. She always looks just like the rest of her clan. She took it to the extreme though. For instance, longer claw-like nails, sharper senses, and longer canine teeth. The clan is known for their ninkin companions that charge into battle with them. Their companions are also an extension of their family to the extreme as well. Their fierce loyalty towards any who they consider the pack. The women always rule the clan, always hunting for the true alpha. Her husband died in the attack in the first wave. A man with solid black hair and black eyes walks in with an arrogance that fits most his clan. His name is Fugaku Uchiha. His clan has the Dujutsu Sharingan. It has the ability to copy fighting styles and jutsus that use hand signs. While all except for bloodlines like ice, wood or lava style. The clan has developed a holy than everyone else. This is due to this the clan thinks they are better than all others thanks to their dujutsu. One clan who can stand against them is the Hyuga clan. The Uchiha clan was one of the founding clans with the Senju. Since the founding, the Uchiha have been in charge of the ninja police force. The clan was also the front line defense in case of an invasion or attack. Again, due to their bloodline, they are perfect to be the defense of the village. The final man to walk through the door was a man that had a small smile. Yet still serious face while looking at the Hokage with his dujutsu activated. The man's name was Hiyashi Hyuga. His clan's dujutsu was called the Byakugan. This dujutsu allowed you to see the chakra system in a person and the points where it flows to and from in the body. His clan is considered the best in hand-to-hand combat in the entire elemental nations. The eyes with a 360-degree view as well as seeing through solid object. Because of this, his clan thinks they are better than most, so they have a little arrogance. In time a boy, and few others will show them their ways are wrong. As the last of the clans come in, the room slowly quiets down. All thanks to them hearing a baby crying as if just woken up. What was actually due to the emotions the boy could already feel from everyone there. It made the boy upset, due to the negative emotions from the civilians. I smell a foxy and bloody smell on that baby. Lord Third Hokage, who is he? Sume says with teary eyes. She had learned from the Anbu who sent the summons. That Kushina and Minato had died in the final battle with the Nine Tails. The Lord Third sighs. First, all civilian council will leave due to the Triple S secret about this boy. If you refuse to leave, I will have the Anbu kill you. While the third talks, the council leaves screaming while being pushed by Anbu. He sighed before deciding to drop the bomb in their laps. Now that they are gone, I want to say that this is the son of Kushina Uzumaki. The father is none other than Minato Nazumaki, our late fourth Hokage. The boy's name will be Naruto Uzumaki. This is to avoid Iwa coming to kill him due to what his father did in the war. His heritage will be known only to us. He is also the biggest hero this village has ever seen due to him being a Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Both his parents died to seal the fox inside him and all their abilities as well. He said, keeping the secret, how Kushina's body was found chained to a rock. As he finishes talking, the whole room gasps and a few cry as some were on the same team as Minato and Kushina since they were genin. Then stayed on the teams as chunin. All before becoming head of their respected clans. Sume Inuzuka and Makoto Uchiha, Sasuke's mom, were teammates of Kushina. While Hiyashi Hyuga and Fugaku Uchiha were on Minato's. The three that were there had tears going down their faces at the news. Fuhaku was not looking forward to telling his wife her best friend was dead. The third asks while looking at the boy with a slight frown as he said, "What should we do with the boy? He has two godparents, they are Kakashi and Anko. Should they take care of him or just protect him from a distance? Should he be trained as a ninja as well or leave that up to him to pick later?" The whole council looks like they lost his head at the two names. They think they are perfect choices for many reasons. He should be trained so to protect himself. Well, the Shinobi Council thought that, as for the Civilian Council, that was allowed back in since the heritage part of the meeting is done with. Disagreed since because they see him as the fox. They all had a different thought and it made the Shinobi sick. He should just be killed for what he has done. He killed almost a quarter of the village. Why are we considering keeping him alive just to attack us again? Screamed most of the Civilian Council. Danzo, you're being real quiet this meeting. I will tell you, here and now, he won't be an emotionless weapon in this village, he will be trained how his godparents think to be. So throw all thoughts out all your head now, screamed the third towards his old teammate, while giving him the glare that was given to his enemies before sending them to an early grave. This meeting is over, but any of the stuff here discussed is considered SSS secret. Any of this knowledge slipped out of here will be met with a public execution on the person who said it. I will even include the family so there is no hate from the death. Is that clear to everyone here? Everyone nodded, all but Danzo. He gritted his teeth and snapped the head of his cane from the pressure of his grip. He avoided looking at his ex-teammate and gave a fake nod of respect. Yet was already planning the next step in his plans to become Hokage, which he thought he should be granted since he was under the Senju brothers with Hiruzen. The third disappeared in a puff of smoke, only to reappear in his office where two Anbu were waiting. They were Inu and Habi. The two bowed soon as they saw him in the room. They were some of the few Anbu who showed full respect to the aged Hokage. The third explains what happened in the letter, letting them see it, even showing them that it is real. The screams only from Habi equals Anko. The scream that a pink-haired woman would be pleased to hear since it matched her own. What, we, together, are supposed to take care of this kid? I know that both our senseis asked this of us, but we can't even handle each other, let alone a kid. Also, I'm considered the snake whore. He will get twice the dirty looks from that alone, and Kakashi doesn't know the first thing about a kid. Nor do I, so how does that work even in the slightest margin? You will just have to make it work for his sake. Sighed the third. He turned to the male and asked him a question. Kakashi, anything to add to this headache? Kakashi answered his leader with a tear-filled eye. No, Hokage-sama, I already knew of being his godfather and have set the funds and space aside for the three of us. We will be using the old Uzumaki house that Kushina-sensei gave me 3 years ago, when I couldn't stand being at the Hitaki residence holds too much pain. Hiruzen smiled and nodded as he replied. Good, then you three will settle in tomorrow. I have paperwork to do first, so you two stand guard. Let no one in, even clan heads that want to help or concern civilians. I will deal with them in time, when it is the right time, not before. As Anko and Kakashi leave to guard the outside, a man appears and activates a silencing seal and yells. I was supposed to be his godfather since I named the boy. Why is that Kakashi man now his godfather? Screamed a man with a headband and the symbol for oil with 2 horns on it. White hair all the way to the ground, spiky and unruly. Wearing traveling red and green clothes that look worse for wear, and small red lines down his cheeks. This man is the Toad Sage Jiraiya, the author of Icha Icha series. Minato changed his mind while writing the letter to me about Naruto. Do you know why? For the safety of him and the village. We need your spy network even more now that we lost so many people and buildings. Now get out there, do your job and protect him from afar is all I ask. A weary third told him with a saddened expression. With a nod the man disappeared to be of use to his home village. He was also glad to be away. He harbored a bit of hate to the boy, for the thing in his gut. As the third looked out the window, everything is quiet. All the hurt are being treated, the dead are having the monks and other holy people praying for their souls. Time skip 8 hours. The third Hokage wakes up at his desk with the blanket empty. He gets worried that someone killed or kidnapped him till he hears giggling and looks up and sees Naruto looking at him with his eyes that pierce the soul. Yet the 2-year-old is sitting on the roof above his head. Then, with only skills the god of shinobi should have, Naruto falls and lands on his feet and then falls to his butt from balance loss. Then proceeds to crawl to the third like he was older than what he was. As the old man picks him up, he hears shouting in the village. The yelling was calling for the demon's head. As they storm the building, he flares his chakra to call all Anbu to him and tells them to stop the crowd before they get to the building. The hidden soldiers do so and block the building with a barrier so he can give an announcement and to kill who broke the law. Since it had to be a council member, since they only knew. As the crowd was stopped by the Anbu, they hear the voice of the third booming all around them. What's going on here? Why are you asking for a demon's death when Nine Tails is gone, and will never bother the village again? The silence of the crowd is thrown away by a voice screaming. My husband saw the whole fight and saw the Nine Tails disappear, and a baby was all that is left. We know that it is the demon reborn, so let us kill it. That's what the 4th Hokage would want us to do. As when the crowd starts chanting for the demon's death. Silence. Now I will ask her a kunai and scroll the same? The weary Hokage asked the crowd in anger. At this the crowd shakes their heads in a no fashion. Then the boy is no different, he is the jailer, not the Nine Tails reborn. Now leave before I consider this an act of treason, and all of you are excited. The crowd leaves, but one man throws something and it lands near the boy. It is a ball of exploding tags. Before the Hokage and the Anbu react, it explodes and the Anbu kill the man before he can run. The hair of the man gives him away. It is pink, one of council members' husbands, also known as the Banshee Queen. Then a seal appears on his neck. It is a mind control seal to make them do something they never want to do. So the third doesn't kill the family since he was forced to attack. As the third worries about the boy, he sees the smoke clearing and a white chakra surrounding the boy. No damage done to him at all. The mouth of everyone looking at the boy drops as they feel the power of the boy. It's over 9,000 times the three roads' own power, which is amazing to say the least. The third then remembers whose the boy's parents are and dismisses it as the chakra disappears. As it does, Anko comes up the boy, who jumps at her. She catches him and smiles as his own fox grin smiles at her. This surprises everyone since Anko always glared and snapped at everyone. The boy looks at Kakashi and laughs, pointing at the headband and mask over his implanted eye and face, earning chuckles from everyone there. Then with a gust of wind the three are gone. The new family lands in the courtyard of Uzumaki House and the boy laughs considering the trip do body flicker jutsu. Now the life of a family with a gaki with blonde sun-kissed hair, a pervert, me a snake whore who's only 10, damn, what a family we have become. Anko says with a sweat-dropped expression. We will start training him when he is 3 due to his status as a Jinchuriki has semi-slipped out and we will have to protect him every day. This mission will be troublesome but worth it to see our sensei's son grow up to be strong as ever, said Kakashi while nose deep in an orange Icha book. As a pregnant silence follows, Anko takes off her jacket. Kakashi notices she is wearing good clothes that cover most up except the curse mark since it was near the base of her neck. Naruto motions to get picked up to Anko to lift him up to look at it, then presses his hands to it. As he does, a screaming Anko lets go of him and she feels the mark rescinding till there is no pain. She blinks and thinks to herself, there is always a slight pain there from the mark, why isn't there one now? Kakashi is looking pale as he sees the curse mark disappears. She notices the look and uses a mirror to see better, notices it is gone and looks down to Naruto. She sees his hand as the mark and it is being applied to a wooden doll that's on the ground. Where the toy came from they had no idea, then the mark gets applied to the toy. Anko looks at the toy, then to the child, then to where the mark was, and realizes she is free from the traitor. She picks the boy up and kisses him on the lips, thanking him and Kami over and over till tears fall down her face and she breaks down, falling to her knees. Kakashi comes up and hugs both of them and picks them up and carries them both to the bed. He starts walking to the door, turning the light off as he leaves. As he shuts the door, he turns around and smiles, wishing them good night and saying how he is proud of the boy. As soon as he walks into the room with the toy and looks at the fireplace that is off to one side, he throws the toy into the fireplace and uses a fire release. He burns the toy, destroying the mark, and hopes it causes the bastard some pain as it is destroyed. Meanwhile, in a tower a couple 100 miles away, a pale white man with yellow, snake-looking eyes and purple marks going down his face stands in a laboratory with a few experiments lying about. He is about 6 feet in height with ash-black hair. With white clothes being tied around him was a thick purple rope around his waist. This man is the Rouge Snake Sanin Orochimaru. Feeling a sharp pain to the chest, and he knows this pain, it is when a cursed seal of earth is shattered and destroyed. He feels as if he is on fire and feels his body burning from inside out. He screams in pain as he is doing his next experiment in the Demon Islands. The experiment that is being injected with certain chakra and cells wakes up, thanks to the scream of pain, and since most of the experiments die quickly. The insane Snake Sanin never restrained his victims as he worked on them. Being extremely weak, the girl crawls off the table and crawls away as Orochimaru screams like he is dying. She finds a slot in the wall where the fluids drain back out into the ocean, and escapes through the slot. After what seems like hours of pain coursing through his system, Orochimaru is able to finally stand up and shake the pain off. He then notices that his subject he was working on got away, despite the fact she was supposed to be under heavy sedation, an amount that would make Manda pass out for an hour at least. In a fit of rage due to the experiment getting away, he starts throwing everything he can get his hands on around the room. Jars filled with acid fall over storage scrolls. The surgery table flies against the far wall, covering the slot in the wall, blocking it from his sight. After 20 minutes of raging, Orochimaru calms down and realizes that he wrecked this lab for the time being. He decides that it is time to figure out whose curse mark is broken or who died, even going to see if Anko has hers or if she is still alive. Most of the curse mark holders are in his hideaway in the Land of Fire anyways, so checking on Anko, and maybe if it destroyed he could place a better, more complex curse mark on her, since it felt like one was never activated and used like most his subjects. The following morning, Anko and Kakashi walk into the office of the third Hokage, watching him suffer over the paperwork a Kage has to do. Trying to be serious and trying not to laugh at the aging old man, they come and sit in front of the man in chairs in front of the desk. Kakashi clears his throat to get the older man's attention. "Lord Hokage, we have something happen last night after we left the office and got to the compound. It was nothing bad in any way, shape or form, so please relax, my Lord Hokage. Naruto did something that even Jiraiya couldn't even do, and I don't know if I completely understand how it even happened." The Hokage wasn't really in the mood for this, so he slams his hand on the table before snarling at Kakashi. "Can you spit this miracle out, please? I've already sent 100 people to prison since the law about talking about the demon was made. And had about 1,000 of requests to kill the demon on my desk all before 7 a.m. Now get on with it, or get out of this office before I burn that mask off." Kakashi and Anko visibly pale at the angry Hokage, since he has been like a grandfather to them. Naruto starts screaming since the voices were so loud, since it scared him. The third Hokage notices Naruto and relaxes when he realizes that he caused the baby boy to cry. He curses under his breath for that, since a baby's crying is not what he needs and he doesn't want to make Naruto sad. Finally, looking at the boy carefully, he sees a shimmer around his body and puts his hands in the half-ram sign and says Kia, releasing the genjutsu on the boy, and everyone notices a set of armor in a way they never saw before. A cloak with 9 tomo around the neck with a hood when extended and reaches to his ankles, and under the cloak was a battle armor made of steel and other metals and looked like light senju battle armor. Everyone is surprised that Naruto has this equipped and is a perfect fit, almost as if he was born wearing the armor. They realize it was being hidden again. As time went on, it seemed to dissolve back into invisible under the blanket he was wrapped in. The third recovered from the shock first and looks at Kakashi and told him without a look to explain what he wanted to say earlier. Anko's curse mark is gone and Naruto is the reason that it is gone. He pulled the mark and piece of the bastard's soul that he embedded in the mark and attached it to a toy that was on the ground, and we never saw the toy before since the house was clean and had no toys. So I think he has yin and yang to be able to create a toy, but we didn't feel any chakra being used. We might have missed it, since the shock of seeing a 2-day-old baby remove a curse mark that the Toad Sage couldn't. After Anko and Naruto went to bed, I burned the toy and watched as a sickly version of the bastard appeared and withered in the flames. I hope he felt the flames as that toy burned. Anko and the third look at Kakashi like he grew a second head out of his shoulders. The Hokage looks at Anko and she turns and brings her trench coat down. He can see where the mark was originally was blank, little more paler than her original skin tone. Since the mark was gone, the skin underneath was paler. The Lord Third started panicking, because if any of the enemies of the village found out about the boy's abilities, it would be disastrous. He would be hunted and maybe even killed. Danzo would want him even more under his thumb than he already does. This is a SSS-ranked secret, punishable by death if told to anyone unless I say so. I am not even putting this in any record so that Orochimaru won't have his spies finding out about this, since it'd be dangerous for any of you. Unfortunately, the snake already knew a mark was gone. He just had to figure out whose it was. Now, unless there is anything else, you two, please leave me be. I have lots of paperwork to do. How did you finish this so fast, Minato? This horrible fate for making me suffer this paperwork again. I hope the death god enjoys making you their bitch. Hiruzen grumbled as he focused back on the paperwork. Kakashi and Anko decide that it is a beautiful day and that they could walk home. Kakashi is the one holding Naruto and has his headband up so that people might get the hint not to try anything to them. Most just glare and whisper about the trio and how the demon and his snake whore mother is corrupting the gray gravity-defying haired man. Anko also hears the voices and you can slowly start to see that it is getting to her. She may not be done in the academy, but she is known to attack people who bug her with her snakes. One civilian was braver than most and threw a brick at the trio and tried to hit the boy, but as it was about to connect, Kakashi's arm got in the way and sent the brick to the ground. Anko and Kakashi share a look and jump to the roofs to make sure nothing will hit them again. It is also faster than walking through the crowded streets. As they jump roof to roof, a figure was following them from the street. It was a retired shinobi that lost his wife and 2-year-old daughter in the attack and was hoping to at least hurt the one that took his family from him. He aimed, not at Naruto, but for Anko for being a traitor's apprentice. He waited till they dropped their guard and threw the special throwing knife he made just for this. It was like a kunai, but with barbs filled with poison that stops the heart in 2 minutes. A special snake venom from snake summons the Anbu use. Soon as it was time, he threw the knife. It sailed through the air. It was on target till the wind picked up and the angle changed just enough that it sailed towards Kakashi and the baby he was holding. As the blade made its way towards Naruto's head, the retired shinobi was hopeful. This was better than he could hope for. He runs to see the aftermath and sees Anko with the blade deep in her arm. Wondering how that happened, he ran up to them and asks, "Is everyone okay? I was just on the street, right on the side of the building, and saw a flint of steel in my eyes as the sun reflected on it, and I looked up and saw the blade headed towards you. I came over to make sure you were okay and no one was hurt. I am a retired shinobi. I never carry weapons on me, so I couldn't redirect the blade. I am sorry I was not of any help to you three. Hey, isn't that the Uzumaki boy who holds the you-know-what?" Anko looks at the man and smells the man's nervousness and feels that the poison is the same that her summons use. Luckily, she is immune to that specific poison. Grabbing the knife that had the barbs deep in her muscles, she tears it out and turns to the man after licking the blade clean, making the man gulp even more. "Well, Mr. Whatever your name is, if you only saw the flint of steel in your eyes, how did you know where we landed? I know this is your blade, since your scent is all over the knife. Next time, use a different poison than the ones that the Anbu use, since they all use snake venom on their kunai. Also, this baby is not your business, since the 2 Anbu behind you are going to take you to prison for attempted murder, you scum of the earth." As soon as she finished speaking, she threw the knife back at him and hit him in the kneecap, ending his ability to walk. She turns to Kakashi, who is giving her an eye smile, and they go home to let Naruto have his nap and to heal her arms since a few muscles were torn and ripped. "Get back here, you damn demon brat," yells a store owner that sold masks to look like Anbu of the village. Yet the masks were made to be decoration since no one can see out of them. The boy, who he yelled at, looked like a 9-year-old blonde boy with sun-kissed hair with purple ringed eyes and 3 thin like marks on each side of his face looking like whiskers. Whiskers that foxes would have. The boy in question is running fast and not like normal kids do. He's running along the front of stores on the walls while making 20 senbon needles spin, and laughing all the way like it was a game. But this laugh covers a broken in pain kid his adoptive parents couldn't help with. This boy name is Naruto Uzumaki, the so-called demon of the village hidden in the leaves. He knows why he is called this but still can't help but feel everyone's pain and hate. It actually made his heart hurt. He only wanted to bring peace to everyone. He jumps over a larger building and sees a pink-haired girl running and screaming from 3 older boys and 1 girl. They seem to be bullying her for some reason, so he jumps down to help her. He uses his insane amount of killing intent, ki for short. This caused the 4 other kids to stop and release their lunches and breakfast everywhere. He jumps over them to the girl who fell down and hurt herself and crying. "Are you okay, Sakurahime?" he asks lightly as he picks her up and helps her get clean by brushing the dirt off her clothes. Being sure to avoid her women areas that Anko told him to be careful with in touching. "How did you know my name?" she asks in a quiet stuttering voice that Naruto saw was from being scared. "I didn't know it was your name. I called you Sakura cause your hair is as beautiful as a sakura blossom tree," he says. Then before she responds they hear from one of the boys. "Who was the one in the front of the bunch of bullies? Why you helping the girl with the freakish huge forehead and not us? Or are you a freak like her as well?" one of the boys said with a scowl on his face, as another points to seals on his arms. Those are brands to show your servitude to this girl, right? She forcing you to save her, no free will, huh? Says the leader while the last looked scared for his life and whines. Guys, this is the boy my parents told me to run from. They say he is a demon and will kill us in seconds just for his own pleasure. The girl just ran away soon as Naruto appeared, since she is only a follower not a fighter, and Naruto scared her with the ki. I am not a demon, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, training to be the strongest ninja and later to be the Hokage. I will do this to protect everyone in the village. Her forehead is not ugly or freakish one bit, it is one I'd kiss any day of week. She is also very beautiful, more than I can say about your parents if you are the outcome. I'm only a freak and dangerous to people who hurt my friends and family. I am no one's slave, I'll protect her because you guys are a horrible example of human beings. These marks, as you say, are seals cause I'm training with them. Now you will leave her alone and never bug her again or I'll kill you. Naruto exclaims while releasing a huge blast of ki. The voice he used seemed to come out like a growl, and the boys noticed his whiskers got darker. A new girl walks up from behind the boys in the back, walks over hands up to show no threat, and looks at Naruto. My name is Ino Yamanaka. I was trying to stop the boys because I wanted a friend who's a girl, since I stuck with a lazy ass and a fat ass. Is it okay to be both your friends? She asks her tealish blue eyes. As she looks over Naruto and sees how strong he is and fast, and for being only 9 years old he is already looking like a sun-kissed haired god in her opinion. She starts to blush as she waits the answer from Naruto and Sakura with a slight tapping of her foot. She never was a very patient person, and how they seemed to ignore pushed a button or two. Sakura was floored, never did she think she would ever have two friends and one that called her beautiful. Or that they would kiss her forehead at the same time. She always hated her forehead. She starts blushing and tries to move, but her ankle gives out and she hits her head on something soft and warm. She sees Naruto above her and holding her so she didn't hurt herself more, and as she looks into his deep blue eyes she blushes deeply. He sets her on the bench there close to so she doesn't hurt herself and looks to the boys, and eyes are filled with rage for picking and hurting a girl who is weaker and a rare beauty in his mind. What he and the two girls don't notice but the other three boys do is that Naruto's eyes flash red and are shaped like a fox's with slits for the pupils. The boys, amazed and scared, run away like scared chickens. Especially after seeing Naruto about 20 feet away from the pink-haired girl, since he moved between her and them. At this point to yell at them better. He then dashed to catch her and sit her on the bench. He then turned to them with fists shaking, and when they look into the Naruto's eyes and see them change color and shape. Not a second later, in front of them with a sword that has a blade all the way down one side with a handle near the base on the backside and has a razor-sharp edge. An edge that seemed to cut anything. As a leaf found out as it fell from a tree. The leaf then hit the blade, and soon as it touched it was slit in half. Nearly 4 feet in length, the blade was inches from the leader of the boys' neck, ready to slice his way through his neck if they tried anything. The boys all step back before turning around and start running for home that is close by, all the while releasing their bladders and screaming like Shinigami was chasing them. Naruto stands up and the blade disappears faster than most could blink. He walks up to Sakura, looks at her and asks, "Is it okay to do some medical jutsu to help heal your injuries? I see your ankle and leg, but want to see if anything else too, just to be safe, Sakura-chan." Sakura was amazed. She nodded and was almost red from the treatment she was getting, since no one ever did this for her. Ino smiles and sees that how caring Naruto is, slowly realizes that she is starting to have a crush on this boy, but feels jealous that Sakura is the one that he is focused on, not her. She was the one person who always got attention from everyone, yet Sakura was getting it from Naruto. Her father, who has tried to get her over this, has failed so far. Mystical palm technique. Naruto whispers as his hands glow blue and goes near her ankle and starts healing the cells and bruises in seconds. "Now anywhere else hurts or just the ankle?" he asks quietly. "Just in cause of head injury. My head a tiny bit and palms of my hands from when they pushed me down earlier before you came and saved me." He brings his hands up and starts the jutsu again, and after a while she feels good and smiles a big smile to her face. She starts have a daydream that involves this blonde boy and her and a wedding of a lifetime. Her face flushes a very deep red that makes her hair seem even a brighter pink than normal. "Thank you, ninja-san. Why did you do it though? I don't get," she asks. "Why didn't you use your sword?" Naruto looks into her emerald eyes with only concern. I am only 5 years old a couple weeks ago. I'm no ninja Sakura-chan and I helped because, you are hopefully my friend. The sword helps the message across not to mess with my friends or people I care about. I am training to be a ninja and will be joining the academy when I'm 3 years older. With a forehead as beautiful as yours I had to save it so I could kiss it," said Naruto with gusto and a smile that makes Ino and Sakura blush deeper red. Thank you Naruto and Ino, would you want to play before supper? My mom is in a council meeting at the moment. Since I live right beside this playground I play here when she not home. My name is Sakura Haruno, daughter of Sakuri Haruno. I like playing outside my mom, my color of my hair and reading books from the library. I hate child beaters, rapists and people that hurt others for no reason at all. My dreams for the future are to become a ninja. I hope to specialize in medical jutsu and eventually have a family of my own. Ino smiles at Sakura. She noticed all the looks she was giving Naruto when she knew Naruto was not looking. She decides that she is next and speaks in a level of tone that almost demands attention. Well, like I said before, my name is Ino Yamanaka clan, heir to the Yamanaka clan. My clan are partners of the Triangle Alliance with the Nara and Akamichi clans. My clan focuses on using mind techniques to get into the minds and find out information and to control out target's body. I am also training to be a ninja. I love flowers since my family owns the only flower shop here in town and the color purple and blue. I hate people that judge others before getting to know them, rapists and murderers that kill in cold blood. My dreams for the future is to find a man to settle down with and start my own family with and have kids with. Naruto smiles at both of them and thinks to himself, I wonder how they would react to finding out I have the 9 tails sealed inside me that destroyed the village years ago. I won't tell them unless I really need to, but Sakura's mom already knows what I am since she is a council member, and if her hair is anything like Sakura's then she has been in the mobs that have hurt me in the past, even the one a few days ago. Yeah, I will wait to tell them anything. I don't want them freaking out and me losing 2 people who could become friends. I wonder why my heart beats so fast when I look at both of these girls. It never has happened before. What does it mean? Naruto breaks out of this thinking when he feels a hand on his shoulder lightly to shake him back to the world of reality. Sari was thinking about something. He answers with a very light blush, but since he is tanned it is noticeable on his face. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am the godson of Anko Mitarashi and Kakashi Hitaki. They have been my parents since I was born. I love ramen, my precious people, in the village. I hate people who can't understand the difference from a kunai and the storage seal that holds it. I hate people that hurt children, murders and whatever killed my parents. My hobbies are training. I am training in kenjutsu, ninjutsu and fuinjutsu, or seal making, and using them in battle. I can't use genjutsu due to a chakra problem. I am proficient in 5 different taijutsu styles. My dreams for the future, well, I have 2 really. One is to bring peace to this world and break the curse of hatred this plagues this world, even if I have to take the entire world's hate on my own shoulders. My second dream is of 2 parts. One is to be Hokage to protect this village and the entire land of fire. The second part is to have a family and restore the Uzumaki name to what it was before. The girls are surprised of his dreams, but some of the things he said was riddles and were about to ask him about it when they notice he is focused somewhere else. All of a sudden he gets stiff as a board and paled to almost white. He looks down at the girls and whispers, "When I say run, run away and don't look back. Go home, you will be safe, okay?" The girls look at each other but nod, a little worried about the blonde friend and mutual crush of theirs. "I will tell you the truth sometime, but just go now, run home. Maybe I'll see you soon as I can, I promise." The girls run and head to Ino's. It is closer. Soon as the girls left, Naruto jumps back 30 feet and yells, "Kai, release gravity and resistance seals." Soon as he said that, 300 kilograms of weights on each arms and legs. Also 600 on his chest disappear. 1,800 kilograms weight gone in seconds. Then the resistance seal at 11 drops as kunai come tearing at him at near vital points. He starts jumping around as projectiles fly at him. Then he hears people yelling to kill the demon. He turns around and starts running as fast near cage level as he could away, and as he does he ends up at the training ground 44. aka Forest of Death, his favorite spot to hide. Here he is safe, here he is king, the animals obey him. They protect him like one of their own since he protects them from unnecessary death. He always sneaks in here for the exams and attacks people, hurting the animals. He even brings the animals to the local Inuzuka vet clinic. During the night, he hears 3 people hunting for him in the forest due to their yelling. He relaxes and thinks shadow clone jutsu. There pops out 3 identical more Narutos. They jumps away understanding their missions. One to tell the Hokage the attack. The second one to his mom, sister Anko. The third to find Kakashi, his dad, brother. He starts jumping through the trees to lead the 3 to the clearing near the tower to fight better in the open. Soon as he takes off, the 3 Jonin that are following him take off after him, thinking it is an easy night to kill him since he is in the forest of death. Naruto lands in the clearing and runs near the tower before a kunai pierces the wall beside his head. As he turns, the 3 Jonin do the hand signs for fire release. Shuriken technique. Soon as they release the technique, they throw 10 shuriken into the fire to catch a blaze. All 3 start cheering when they see all shuriken hit. They start walking away, when they hear a low hissing voice say, "Wind release, great breakthrough." A large blade of wind hits them in the back and launches them across the clearing into a tree where 5 eyes land on them and seize them, tying them to a tree with ninja wire. All 3 are stunned that Naruto was able to beat them so easily. "Naruto-kun, are you okay? Are you hurt? If they hurt you, I'll kill them myself," screams a worried Anko who has rage in her eyes. She even had a kunai in her hand ready to slit their throats. "Ka-chan, I'm fine, I am not hurt at all. Don't kill them, Gigi, they have hate for something they don't understand. I will take the hate every day if it is to protect my family and people I care about," Naruto asked in a pleading voice only a child could give. Everyone was shocked here. 3 Jonin from his village tried to kill him, and yet he wants them to live another day. "Naruto, they tried to kill you. Why would you let them live?" asked a very confused 3rd Hokage who has been like a grandfather to the blonde. "They hate the fox and see me as the fox, so their hate clouded their vision. Yes, I am the jailer of the fox, yet most don't know that. I will not condemn them for it, not one bit, for letting hate blind them. I will take the hate of the world, and if I have to, take it all on my own shoulders. So no one else feels hate. I believe that the day will come when people can truly understand each other. On that day they will cast away the hate in their hearts." The 3 Jonin, now awake and listening, realize this kid is willing to save people who try to kill him for their hatred of the fox. They all look at each other and share a look before saying as one say, as if they were one person and able to share thoughts, "Naruto Uzumaki, we are all deeply sorry. We let our hate and pain blind us to the truth. We will put our trust in you to carry the will of fire. We will also help you carry your burden of this world's hate. We as Jonin of this village stand beside you as peacekeepers." Needless to say, Anko, Kakashi and the 3rd were jaw-dropped at this proclamation. While Naruto smiles and walks okay and bows to them. Then his foxy grin comes out and he moves to the back of the tree and unties them from the tree they were tied to. As he does, the Jonin wait till he comes in front of them. While still on their knees, they bow to him and swear to protect him and his friends so they can change the world. Naruto goes to each of them, helps them up, and then looks them in the eyes and tells them, "Don't swear allegiance to me, I am only a person who has an idea to change the world. This village needs it more than I do. All I want you to do is protect this village more than you did before, got it? Let's make this the center of peace." "Hi, Uzumaki-sama," they yell before bowing to the Hokage, awaiting orders and punishment for their crimes and hate. Yet the Hokage has a different idea for them. "You 3 are now the inside protection for Naruto, Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka. You will be shadows, but let nothing happen to them or other friends that come in later, understand? This is a mission to protect the peace and the future of this village. Do you understand your mission from your village that is on your shoulders?" "Hi, Hokage Dono." As one, they all disappear in a flurry of leaves. Everyone then turns to look at Naruto. Like he was a god, and he started to feel uncomfortable under the looks. "What is the looks for? Did I do something wrong?" he asks, still uncomfortable under the looks. Naruto is still as a 5-year-old, and when he sees something he doesn't understand he gets jittery. "Nothing is wrong, but I have to ask, where did you learn that saying?" asks Kakashi while the 3rd nods. "Nowhere to san. I just don't want to see pain and hate in this world anymore. I will end all of it even if I have to die to do it. If I have to, I will become the bringer of peace." Everyone is shocked at this. They knew the prophecy the Toad Sage had since Jiraiya had told Kakashi and the 3rd Hokage. Yet to hear the words from a 5-year-old say them made everyone shiver. "How did you know about the fox, Naruto?" They all ask puzzled that a 5-year-old has figured out about a village secret that only a select few should have known about in the first place. Especially since Kakashi and Anko never told him about it. I saw the seal on my stomach and a picture of the fourth and heard the story from hiding near bars on my birthday. Thanks to some of the beatings I have received when everyone is too busy, and I tell Anbu to only stop the beatings if I'm going to die. Because again, I will take the hate of the village if I have to. I know Kakashi and Anko aren't my parents, consider their ages from their medical reports from when I snuck in the hospital. I still love them and will wait to find out who my real mother is. I hope she loved me is all I really want to know. I know the fourth is my dad. Who could he ask if not use his own child to seal the fox? What kind of Hokage would that be if he did that and used someone else's child when he should be able to trust his own child with a SSS ranked mission like this? Everyone looked sad and disgusted about the beatings or that Anbu listened to a boy over the Hokage who is their ruler. They all run to Naruto and hold him close like he was the only thing that mattered. I think it's time you knew the full story and how your parents meet and the story behind the fox and how it'd been sealed before, since you are not the first of the jailers. The third says between the tears fall down his face into the blonde's hair. As they all leave the area in one giant body flicker, only leaving a whirlwind of leaves. When they get to the third's office on the top floor of the Hokage Tower with big windows that shows the entire village. As the group appears in the office, the Anbu in the room all stiffen since their charge the Hokage is in the room again, back from helping Naruto. The Anbu all love Naruto since he did something that no one thought possible, especially for a child. Since that boy could walk and run and use his chakra. He has been pranking the Anbu in their headquarters and makes sure they suffer for being unprepared or leaving holes in their defense. They then spend hours chasing this kid around, yet he is never caught after an hour. Or they let him go since it showed a weakness in their defenses, and if a kid could find them, what about an enemy? The harmless pranks like itching powder could be poison or could break people out or even kill Anbu if used explosive tags instead of paint or water. Also, the Anbu have started talking more and more. First it was about how he would get them next time. Then slowly drifted towards open relationships, more like the regular forces. About 90% of the force have never knew about the lounge or bar in the headquarters. Now they hang out, play games and drink when off duty. Even outside of the Anbu they enjoy each other's presence better and get to know the other shinobi of the village as well. Anbu, leave us please. Soon 3 people poof out of the room. Naruto stops the third from applying a seal with a finger over the mouth. He summons a sword that is 2 feet long and has a serrated edge down the blade part and stabs the bookcase, and a blank Anbu masked woman with the Kenji for root appears with the blade through her heart. She was dead before she hit the ground. The Hokage is pissed and growls while thinking, Danzo, you snake in the fucking grass. Spying on me. I figured you ignored my order to disband that dark group. Now, I find out you are spying on me. With a sigh he looks at Naruto and is slightly worried about what he sees. The boy looks down with tears and fists shaking. The sword forgotten on the ground covered in the women's blood, and he thinks it is because his first kill. Anko and Kakashi look scared. He did this. How did he even know the agent was there? Yet they didn't. Kakashi is a censor in ways, but even he didn't feel the root agent in the room. Naruto looks at him with tear-filled eyes and says, I will never kill again. I am a man of peace, not a senseless murder. This wasn't the proper time to do this. I should have just restrained her, not run a blade through her chest like a common murder. Naruto, are you okay? Look at me. I will tell you, as a shinobi you will have to kill. You have to know our work is blood and death every day. I had hoped it would be at least 8 or 10 more years before this happened to you. But the gods seem to have thought different. A cruel fate for a child, for one such as yourself. She is a traitor to our village, and you will get the money for a missing ninja rank A. Now how did you know she was there, considering none of us could sense her presence here at all? Well, 3 reasons, Hokage Gigi. 1. I knew you only kept 3 Anbu here to guard you, 1 in desk, 1 in the roof, and last on couch, so when I heard her heartbeat and could smell her, even if she used a cleaner and other things to hide her smell, I knew she didn't belong there, since only Anko Kasen liked the bookcase, so I knew she was a spy. She was from our village, wasn't she? The Hokage frowns with a nod. He carries on. 2. I could see her chakra, and it was a foul dark purple like the seal on Anko Ka-chan has, but coming from her tongue, but it is slightly different from Anko's since there is no soul in the mark, yet almost more evil nonetheless. 3. I felt her hate and her ill intent on me and you, Lord Hokage, as if she was waiting to strike. What do you mean her ill intent, Naruto? He asks, puzzled. Well, like she wanted to harm you and me if we were alone, maybe even kill us both. Also, I can smell someone who uses wood varnish and bandages with bleach to cover his normal smell. That smell is coming from her top pocket. I'm guessing a scroll or paper to apply seals, and her blade had chakra poison that is strong enough to kill a cage in minutes running down the edge of blade. How do you know it is poisoned blade? The third asks, and Naruto shows a mark on his hand where her blade nicked him, the scar already disappearing. The fox heals me of all poisons, so this one I'm now immune to thanks to the fox taking the poison, and also adds it to my blood system so my blood has its chakra and poisons in it. I don't know how I know that information, I just do. Thank you, Naruto, for saving me and protecting secrets of the village. I have a weird question, do you scar from attacks or know all the times I have never seen you even have a small scar? Asked the third, since Naruto always seemed to have perfect skin even after wounds from training or attacks. Hi Hokage Gigi, I hide them under a henge though so no one could see how I suffered, and take revenge it is pointless and will cause more pain. I will show them if you promise on your life not to get angry at the village for their mislead hate and try to punish anyone that has hurt me in the past. The third nods but hates the fact Naruto said not to punish the village. As a poof of smoke appears, Naruto is only in his boxers and is littered with scars and has one down his one eye, yet the eye is still there like he regenerated it. There are some that are burns along his body, a long wound from hip to shoulder, one along his neck that is about 1 inch thick from someone slicing his throat open. That showed that someone did it with a knife not taken care of and was semi-dull. As everyone sees the damage the boy has been through, a hell they all would never wish on their worst enemy, even Orochimaru, the biggest living traitor. They all get sick to the point of vomiting and almost blacking out from thinking at the pain of what he went through. Anko and Kakashi puke out the window, the third to the bucket under his desk that has a cleaning jutsu in it so it never dirties. All are thinking the same thing and are amazed at this boy's resolve. What has this village done to you, Naruto-kun? Why not punish them for their crimes? How haven't you died yet? I think anyone else would either die or be driven insane. I am proud of you for bearing this hate alone because you hid it. Hopefully you won't have to any longer. I will try harder to protect you from now on. Naruto smiles towards the still slightly pale adults. I won't punish this village cause of the mistake of not understanding the difference of a scroll and the kunai sealed in it. I will shoulder their hate to make me stronger, suing that to protect all of my precious people. Which has 2 new people, Sakura-chan and Ino-chan. This village is my home. I can't bring myself to hate this village even after all the attempts on my life. To protect everyone and bring peace to this cursed world. He says with a calm but hopeful tone. Naruto, I'm going to let Kakashi and Anko take you out of the village to train. So that you can be strong enough to defend yourself. Naruto shakes his head as if he disagreed with that. No, we already train enough here in public training grounds or in the dojo. Besides Sakura and Ino, I promised them to see them soon. I want to see them again if I can. Maybe their families will let them join in, then there will be more people fighting to bring peace to this cursed world. Can you summon their families here? I will tell them everything about the fox. Of course I'll summon them right away. Why are you willing to tell them everything, Naruto, since they might hate you for what you hold? The third says with a worried expression. To be honest, I know that it is a great possibility that happens, but I rather they know since they are my first friends and are precious to me, even if only met today. Also, Sakura's mother is on the council, so she will tell her to stay away from me unless I can tell her before her mother has a chance to fill her with hate. I want to be able to be open with everyone in my life. I want to tell them for their safety as well as the villages, in case I accidentally use the fox's chakra I won't rampage and hurt them. As Naruto finishes explaining his reasons, everyone nods in understanding. He feels a light tug on his mind, like someone is calling him. Naruto, I want to talk to you if possible, it is important. A small female voice calls in his head. One that sounded of bells yet was sad and in pain. I'm going to rest for a minute on the couch, Naruto says calmly. As he sits on the couch, he feels a slightly stronger tug and he falls asleep to wake up in a giant sewer. I don't think the fox would like to be sitting in a sewer, so let's change that. Since I know I sure would not want to live or walk up here. He focuses quickly to make the place brighter, and the sewer is gone and now is in forest surrounding him with animals of all sizes jumping around and birds flying in the night sky, filling the night with their songs. A house appears beside him as he notices a cage of iron with a seal lock in the middle of the clearing he is in around a girl. He notices the girl is crying hard. He notices the blood-red hair around her tiny but still fit frame. The girl looked about 5 years older than he is, and he comes over and notices the 9 tails with fur that is the same blood red as her hair, flowing around her almost like it is trying to stop him from seeing her cry. He focuses again, the cage disappears and a belt appears with kanji for seal on it around her waist, since she wouldn't be able to enjoy the forest he made and be semi-free to do what she wants. With the new addition of the belt, a robe covers the girl's nakedness. The girl stops crying and looks up, sees Naruto holding his hand out to help her up with his million-watt smile that can make anyone smile and warm their heart. Even the so-called Kyuubi's, that is a demon apparently. She jumps up and tackles him back onto the ground. I am so sorry Naruto-kun. Please, can you forgive me? I never wanted to hurt you or for you to get hurt because of me. I should have been stronger. If I was you, would still have your mother Kushina Uzumaki and also your father Minato Nazumaki. She stops as she feels his arms wrap around her and tells her right in her ear. There is nothing to forgive you, for you did nothing to me directly and on purpose. I am guessing you were forced out of my mother, since you said if you were stronger I'd still have my mother, and the rampage you didn't want to do so again. I am guessing someone was able to control you and send you to attack the village. I will always protect you. I always wanted to thank you anyways. So this is perfect. Thank you for healing me after every attack and during training when I went too far. I don't hate you at all, Miss Kazuyoki. My name is Kazuyoki. Kyuubi is only a title bestowed on me by humans like you. One that I never was really glad to have, since it always made me a target for humans to try and control me. Keep my name to yourself please, it's only for special people I trust and love. She says with a blush that could rival her hair. Since Naruto is so young, he doesn't fully understand why she is blushing. Kazu-chan, listen, I know we just meet, but will you help me be strong to protect you and my other precious people? Also, since you were sealed in my mother, would you be able to tell me all about her and my father? He asks, knowing she could kill him easily and just ignore his request. Of course Naruto-kun. When you're 12 I will give you all my power. I will regain it over time, but you will become the most powerful shinobi by then. Also I will tell you everything about your parents that I can remember. Your mother's seal was a lot different. I could only learn about them both from looking through her memories. But what is this place? I remember a giant sewer. Now we are in a forest with a house and my seal is a belt. How is this all possible? I know no one's mind should be able to do this. I changed this area cause I felt the 9 tails does not deserve to be in a sewer. To be honest, I was expecting a giant fox, so that's why I made everything so big. To where she could feel happy and not hate. Cause I will get rid of all hate in this world and bring a world of true peace. I made the house for when I come here and trained while I am asleep. Now I found a better person for it. Also I promise to come visit often and learn as much as I can from you. Naruto explains with a calm look. All I do is say thank you for this, Naruto-kun. I hate to cut this short, but could you make the seal a ring for when I bathe? A belt would be hard to wash and dry under it. A ring is easier to clean around. Also your 2 girlfriends are waiting for you. Promise to come back and visit soon, okay? She asks with a hopeful look on her face, but with a sad eyes and a tear starting to form. I will be back later to do the ring thing, so please enjoy your world. I did make it just for you. I will make the seal so we can talk anytime as well. I will come back tonight to talk in person, though I like your company. Please do not cry, please, Kazu-chan. I will be back in a few hours, I swear on my ninja way. He says with promise in his eyes as he fades out of his mind into the real world. As he wakes up, he notices 2 weights on his sides attached to his arms. He looks and sees Ino and Sakura holding his arms with slightly worried looks. Yet small blushes on their faces when they see Naruto is awake and still holding his arms. He looks around and sees Ino's parents by the blonde hair and same face and body type smiling at him with proud looks in their eyes while trying to hide the feeling of regrets for not protecting him more. Naruto smiles and nods at them and squeezes Ino and Sakura's hand. Then sees a pink-haired woman raging and looking like she's ready to kill him for touching her daughter. Why is that thing touching my daughter, and why are we here? The lady screams with banshee-like voice that causes Naruto's ears to hurt since they are sensitive. That, to be all honest, could wake the dead or make them roll over in their graves. Mom, you will not call Naruto-kun that. He saved me earlier from bullies. Also is one of my newest friends. If you call him that again, I will never call you my mother again. Also I will leave your house and never come back. So be quiet and listen to the Hokage Dono. Sakura says calmly while giving her mom a death glare that seems to hurt her mom worse than what she said. Sakura flinches badly and is worried about how her daughter changed from an obedient girl to a one that would talk back and defend a demon. Also was to go as far as to run away and never come home. Shook Sakura to her core. Actually, Sakura-chan, Ino-chan, I asked you to be summoned this late. I have something to tell you, it is important. I hope you won't hate me after this, so please wait till I am done before saying anything, okay? I am the container for the nine-tailed fox that nearly destroyed this village 5 years ago on the date of my birth. That's why your mom hates me, because I think she lost her husband and your father that night. I am sorry for the lose and I will bear your hatred, ma'am. Just don't let me or Sakura-chan lose a friend because of me being a Jinchuriki. I will grow strong to protect your daughter and you as well from any harm, I promise. Lord and Lady Yamanaka, I am asking you to let me be Ino's friend. She is a great girl and awesome person as well. What I said to Lady Haruno also applies to Ino. I will protect her with my life. Her pain will be my pain. I will do everything to protect both of them, even give my own life so that they can live. This is my promise and my promises are unbreakable and I always keep my word. Please let the three of us be friends. Naruto says with such emotions that he is crying from the promise of the heart. Everyone's eyes water at what he says. It was so deep from the heart that no one is spared from the tears. Even Sakura Haruno falls apart and rushes over to the boy and hugs him. Hugging the boy like only a mother can while rubbing his head in a calming manner. This causes Naruto to stiffen since Anko and Kakashi are the only ones to ever hug him like this. I am the one who should be sorry, Naruto-san. I never saw past the pain and loss of losing my husband and Sakura's father. Please forgive me for my hate and for joining the mobs in beating you. She says through the sobs that escape her mouth. Everyone is surprised that she would fully admit to hurting the boy in front of the Hokage to boot. They all relax as Naruto wraps his arms around her and gives her a loving hug. Like a son would a mother after a rough day. Never once have I hated this village, even with the beating people gave me, including you. Even the ones that almost killed me. So don't worry, Haruno-san, even from the beatings you personally gave me, just let us move past this hate and be friends, okay? He asks as he tilted his head slightly to the he hugs her and rubs her back as she continues to cry. Of course, Uzumaki-san. I'll be there to help anyway I can, especially with the council. I actually am really starting to get sick of what they done to you. She says with a small smile as she pulls away from the boy. Ino and Sakura had time to digest everything that was told to them. They jump on the boy and both slap his head, screaming, Naruto, you baka. You think we would judge you for something you couldn't even have control of? We will train even harder, so we will be ready to protect you and the village with you. As Naruto hears this he starts crying and everyone feels power coming off him in such strong waves it knocks all the parents and even the third Hokage off their feet, yet Ino and Sakura don't seem affected by the waves. The waves are powerful but not violent, they feel calming and peaceful. Naruto panics and stops moving and looks up everyone as they slowly stand back up after the waves settle down and gasps at his eyes. He gets really worried. Ino hands him a mirror she pulled out of her sleeve of her coat, showing she is already worried about looks. His normally blue icy blue eyes are now white with gold rings and 10 tomo in them and slit for a center of his eye. They look like a fox's pupil. Everyone is shocked as they never have seen this before, as they all puzzled. This dojutsu has never been seen before. They only have ever heard of 3, the Sharingan, Byakugan, and only the Hokage remembers the Rinnegan. This was something truly different from the other 3 and yet almost a mix of the 3. Naruto moans as he grabs his head in pain from an overload of information, as every jutsu ever created was downloaded into his brain. He also sees flashes of 8 other beings with tails behind them and a tailed beast behind them. Realizing he now has perfect chakra control and control over all elements, also finds out he has magic as well, something not heard of before and that puzzled him greatly. Naruto also has the chakra level to even compete with the 9 Tails' own chakra. Gigi, Anko-san and Kakashi-san, why is everyone black and white outlines but yet all of you have a spring of blue in your chest with different color backgrounds? Gigi, why do you have a fire and muddy looking background? While Anko has a fire one almost white though. Kakashi, yours is like sparks, fire and mud. Also everyone has lines and dots like a track in their bodies and arms. Naruto asks while trying not to panic, seeing a world he isn't used to. Naruto, I will explain, but first my boy, see if you stop channeling your chakra to your eyes might help. Those are our chakra natures, mine is fire and earth. Anko, I guessing is a very strong fire, maybe also yang. Kakashi here is lucky, he has 3 fire, earth and lightning that you can see, while also our chakra reserves. The last part seems like the Byakugan seeing the chakra system and Tenketsu points. He notices Naruto's eyes change back to blue once Naruto chakra stops to the eyes. This is now a SSS secret, no one must know about these eyes till he can protect himself. Is that understood to everyone here? He says with a voice that sends shivers down everyone's spine. Yet they all quickly nod yes. Naruto, I have never seen these eyes before, what will you call them? He asks quietly. 10 no Hosoku. Heaven's law, due to the color of them, also the 10 marks in the eyes. That look like the Sharingan and what I gained from them and what I see with them. Naruto says with excitement. Anko, who finally picks her jaw out of the woodwork, asks. What do you mean by that, Naruto? Bring me the best control exercise we have up to date, please. And you will see. They comply, and a tub of 10 different sands is placed in front of Naruto. So I am guessing I have to make them all separate into columns of the right color, right? He receives a nod from the Hokage. If your control is perfect, you should be able to do it in 10 seconds. Soon as he finished, he started the timer, and within 1 second everything was separated and in nice rows floating above the blonde about 5 feet in the air. The room goes quiet and look to the blonde for answers. I thought this would be harder keeping them in the air, but it is so easy. I only thought of it and channeled my chakra, and it was done like it is naturally like this. Naruto explained, and everyone face faulted at this. He just dismissed a miracle to be something natural. Well, even my student Tsunade Senju didn't have this much control. She did it in 9 seconds but didn't make hers float like you have done. The Hokage stutters as he gets up from little help from Inochi, who hasn't said a word yet due to disbelief. I think it is time to retire for the night and rest. Has been an exciting day for all of us. Kakashi says, but then turns to the girls. If you want to train with us, we start at 7 a.m. at Training Grounds 7 by the Stone Memorial. Also, after training you are welcome to come over with your families and have supper with us. Naruto is a black hole in eating. I think he could beat Shuza in an eating contest. Kakashi and Anko pick Naruto up and wave goodbye as they body flicker away in a storm of smoke and leaves. Well, Inochi, Kauchi and Sakuri, we have a busy day tomorrow. The girls are looking very tired but look clung together. Let's get them to a home so they can sleep in a bed. Now Inochi, before we leave, did you think about the old contracts? Inochi looks at his wife. Her and Sakuri take the girls outside. To be honest, not really. I actually forgot all about the marriage contract that me and Kushina made to marry our kids when they turn 18. I sensed that Ino already has a deep crush on him and Naruto one on her. But with the CRA, I wonder if she will be willing to share. If the discussion comes up, may I tell Sakuri Haruno about his heritage? I am guessing the girls will want a sleepover tonight and we can chat with her and plan everything out together and figure out why she did what she did. Inochi says after thinking for a minute or two. The Hokage smiles and thinks about how his favorite blonde's life will change in the years to come. Also, I am going to show the Shinobi Council a picture my camera that is behind my desk took of Naruto of something else he revealed to me tonight. I won't say yet, just wait for the meeting and you will find out. But Inochi, you are dismissed and have a good night and a good talk later tonight. The Hokage says tiredly and acts his age. As Naruto is laying down at home, he is getting used to his eyes by flicking them on and off and starts thinking. I have friends that I will do anything to protect now. I may live in this house with Anko and Kakashi as their son. I am not theirs, they don't even like each other at all, they only pretend to for my benefit. I will tell them in the morning I want to live alone, it would be better that way for everyone. They don't need to be hated for what I am and what I carry, not that I hate Kazu, never would think to hate her. The best of times they only tolerated by the village because they take care of me. Yet they are some of the strongest ninja in the village and they are treated as bad as me. As he starts falling asleep, he feels malice, intent and anger coming from the Hyuga clan's house and compound. He jumps up and pulls out his blade of the storage seal bands on his wrist for quick access. It has holes and a line down the middle. When thrusted forward, it opens about 4 to 5 inches to make wounds bigger and harder to heal. He jumps out the window and body flickers near the compound wall across the street to observe first, since he first one there. As a masked man covered in complete black outfit comes over the wall with a sack with something kicking and trying to break it to get free. While whimpering like a child crying with sobs, Naruto can tell it is a little girl. The man carrying the sack is getting very pissed off and charges a massive electric current through his body, shocking the heiress of the Hyuga clan, Hinata. For the illegal breeding program in the village hidden in the clouds. This program is set up without the new Raikage permission. The new Raikage had cancelled the old breeding programs to help improve relationships with the other villages. Since most hate them for trying to steal their bloodlines. This man was part of the old program to steal bloodlines. The heiress goes deathly, almost as if dead. Still the man curses to himself. Why in the hell did I do that for? It might have caught Anbu's attention. I also could have killed her since she is so young, and that wouldn't have been good, failing my true mission since this treaty is such a joke and waste of time. The man is reaching for the bag again to lightly shock her awake, then leave. Naruto heard enough and his blood starts boiling and jumps down and does a slice with his sword, taking the man's fingers off right up to the palm. As the man screams, he flares his chakra for a second. As he flares his chakra flares, he does a low leg sweep and knock the man off his feet since he is still screaming about his fingers being separated from his hands. Alerting every Anbu in a 2-mile radius, Naruto then puts the sword level with the mont's head. This power is amazing and strong, more so than the 9 tails, and yet no anger or malice in it. I better find out and alert the Hokage, yet this affect is calming, but I can tell as a signal something must have happened. All Anbu think as one, almost as if they are one being. As some go to the scene where the huge chakra flare as a few track down the 3rd Hokage to escort him and to protect him from threats in case of a diversion and an attack on his person. As they find him coming out of the building calmly, he comes out and says, "It is nothing to worry about. It is only Naruto saving the day and that we should head there." Since I know Naruto wouldn't just flare his chakra so late at night. As every Anbu that is stationed in the village and the 3rd body flicker to the scene, they meet the sight of Naruto holding a 6-foot sword aimed at a person's throat and the man's fingers at his feet. The fingers are twitching slightly. The man is sickly pale, looking up the sword to a blonde boy with blood-red eyes that are glowing slightly. Everyone can see the glow on the mont's face and is worried. "Naruto, calm down and tell us what happened here and why is his fingers missing? Do you know what is in the sack that is there near this man's fingers?" Naruto turns and bows as he seals his blade away before beginning his story. "Well, Hokage-sama, this man, I felt his malice and ill intent from my house and came upon the scene of him coming over the wall of the Hyuga clan. I saw that there was a sack over his shoulder and whoever is inside struggled and was crying and sobbing and sounds like a girl near my age to about 10 years old, and he then used a style of the lighting armor technique to shock the person and knock them out, but he was worried he used too much power, so he went to deliver another shock to wake the person up. I saw enough and wanted to protect the person in the bag, so I reacted. I unsealed part of my buster blade and sliced off his fingers as he reached down to hit the sack again, and then kicked his legs out from under him as he screamed, then held my blade there at his throat and flared my chakra since the Anbu would react, and I also knew you would know my signature from the conversation earlier, and so you showed up, you know." Naruto explained easily as he rubbed the back of his head while smiling like had no care in the world. Besides, able to take on a full-fledged ninja at 5 years old. "The kid is lying to you, Hokage-sama. I was on my way to my hotel room from the treaty talks and decides to take a long way to enjoy the village at night. I saw him jump over the wall and come back a few minutes later with the Hyuga heiress Hinata inside the bag. I jumped in as a future allied shinobi should I came to help her from the bag she is in." He swung his blade and cut my fingers off as I reached for the bag to let her out. The man yelled as it was revealed to be the lightning ninja that was there for treaty talks. The Hokage saw the differences from the stories and remembers what Naruto did with the root agent. He smirks before saying to the cloud ninja, "I will trust in Naruto more than you since he didn't know who was in the bag. You plainly said who was in there, which is a stupid idea and good way to get caught in a lie. Also trying to steal from a village filled with the best torture and intelligence gathers in the elemental nations. Anbu, arrest him and take him to the T&I department and get Ibiki working on him with level 10 clearance. Then someone tell Anko that she has a new play toy once he done with him. After that get Inochi. Will someone go get the Hyuga head to come get his daughter home safety. Also please seal the fingers to get reattached for Ibiki just to break again over and over." The third Hokage says in annoyance, and with a smile from the few statements he made most of the Anbu shiver at the mention of Anko having fun with him. Since she tends to make most people she torture nothing more than a pile of bones and mush. As an Anbu body flickers away with the ninja, a very pissed Hiyashi Hyuga breaks through the wall and starts looking around and sees Hinata being helped out of the bag by Naruto, who is smiling and telling her reassuring words to help her stop crying. It seems to be working for the shy heiress, who has a small blush as well. Why's my daughter being helped out of a bag, and who in the hell kidnapped her? He asks while his dujutsu blazing bit with a calm voice. That even the Hokage shivers from, since the Hyugas never seem to yell, their statements always seem worse with the calm voice. Everyone still there shivers, all except for Naruto. The ninja from the piece talks with the cloud, and Naruto here saved her before he could get too far away and out of the village. It seemed like for a breeding program. The third explains while looking at the two young ninja hopefuls who are holding each other. Hiyashi seems to calm down and looks to Naruto and says, "Then thanks are in order to you, Uzumaki-san, for saving my daughter from a life of pain and a fate no one would want. You will always have an ally with the Hyugas. Also I will grant you one request, no matter what the request it is, if it is in my power to grant it," he says as he bows to the boy, a sign that most have never seen besides to the Hokages. No need to bow, Hyuga Dono, it isn't needed, and to be honest, a man of your stature bowing to a low life like myself is a little silly. I would request that anything Hinata wishes, even if it removing your clan's caged bird seal, be removed. I know it might cause a rift between you and the elders, but I think you should listen to the reasons Hinata has for removing it, Naruto says while looking at Hinata with a gentle smile and a look that brings confidence. She looks her father dead in the eyes and says in a straight voice that with Naruto beside her she could have only achieved. "Father, I request that the seal be removed and banned from being used. It already has a couple major flaws from what I can see. It only protects the sealed from their eyes being taken from death. There is a chance they may lose the eye before death, so unsealed. This cursed seal is a barrier of our clan. We should be a big family, not two separate ones, a main one and a slave family. A clan should be together as one, not two groups. What if one day the branch decided to rebel and destroy the main family while we sleep thinking we are safe? Let's end this servitude now before it gets out of hand and we destroy ourselves," she says and bows to her father in a show of true respect and hope this works. He is taken back with the logic that is behind his daughter's reason and request and smiles at his daughter and Naruto. He walks forward and hugs his daughter, and then Naruto then tells them both while looking them in the eyes as equals, "I will make it happen. This is a sound request, may take some time since the elders are stuck in the past. When this mess with Kumo village is sorted out, is that okay with you too? The elders be damned, this seal I also hated for too long." The two children smile and hug, happy as two kids could be after a dangerous situation. Naruto looks at Hinata when they separate and says, "Lady Hyuga, I am very rude. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am pleased to meet you," as he pulls her hand to his lips and kisses her ring knuckle. As he does this, Hinata turns a deep shade of red and stammers out her response, so embarrassed it makes Hiyashi smile. "Very well, meet Lord Uzumaki, and it is also a pleasure to meet you and be saved by you." She leans over and gives him a kiss on the cheek. That causes Naruto to join her in the coloring in the face. Then her eyes blur and she fainted dead away to the world. As she falls, Naruto catches her and picks her bridal style and tries to pass her to her father. As her father tries to pull her away, she grabs his jacket and doesn't want to let go. Hiyashi tries again, and Hinata seems to send a Juken strike to Hiyashi with deadly aim that if he didn't move it hit his forehead and kill him. Hiyashi was able to avoid this because he is the Juken Grand Master currently of the clan. He is considered the best user in the clan. Hiyashi chuckles and whispers to Naruto, "Come with me, we will get her to bed in the house. You might have to stay the night, Mr. Nazumaki. Most of time someone wakes her up, she tries to shut down their chakra with our style, as you have seen. Before you ask, I do know who your parents are and will tell you about them one day." Naruto starts sweating, not cause she weighs a lot, but because he know what the style of the Hyuga clan is, as he has been hit with it before, as some of the Hyuga has been in the mobs that still beat him. One occurrence was only a week ago. Then he realizes the name he called him and gives a look of surprise and shock well mixed together. He nods and follows the man right to the house and sits down on the couch with Hinata still in his arms. As he sits, Hinata shifts and brings herself closer to his face and nuzzles his neck and whispers in her sleep. Naruto-kun, the man I want to marry. Hiyashi hears this and laughs a tiny bit and leaves, not before passing them pillows and blankets, and pulls the side lever to make it stretch out so Naruto can sleep a little better. Soon as he does, Hinata lays beside Naruto but keeping a death grip on his shirt. Naruto looks up at Hiyashi and asks him, "Lord Hyuga, sir? Is it okay if we date later when we are older? She is a precious person to me now, more than most people. I never will abandon her or hurt her feelings, or in any way. If I do, I would have to perform honorable suicide for hurting her. And may she train with me and my family, since we have Ino Yamanaka and Sakura Haruno as well? Also, can you tell my family where I am, since they might get worried? Yes, to all three. Naruto, you are like your real father in so many ways. You will protect her, so I trust you with her safety and training." Hiyashi says with a smile, but surprised how serious Naruto is about her, since they just meet, or so he thinks. Hiyashi leaves the kids there to go back to sleep with his very pregnant wife, who is 7.5 months, and snuggles in with her and falls asleep with a smile. Things are changing with Ripples, and his family is in the middle where some of the biggest changes are going to happen. Soon his brother and the Branch family will be free, and it is all due to a little blonde boy who this village wants dead and buried because they don't understand how sealing works. Time shift 4 hours ago with 2 girls. "Hey Sakura, would you want to spend the night at our house and play some more?" Ino asks with a smile and a pleading look. Sakura looks at her mom with the biggest jutsu. Parents and boyfriends could never say no to puppy dog eyes jutsu. Sakura looks into Sakura's eyes and crumbles to her eyes in under 3 seconds. She has never been able to say no to her. She smiles and nods even without that jutsu. Sakura smiles and turns to Ino before saying, "I'd like that, Ino. We have lots to talk about and getting to know each other, right?" Sakura says with a glint in her emerald eyes that Ino knows all too well and what it is about. As the girls walk to Ino's clan's area, the one side through the flower shop, Sakura groans, realizing that she fell for those eyes again. "Don't worry yourself, I really doubt there are any man that can't say no to their wives, children or girlfriend when they use those eyes," Inochi says while talking about it due to experience, since both his wife and his daughter already use that so well against him. Inochi and his wife Kauchi are talking to Sakura's mom and send the girls to play in the greenhouse and backyard, but close enough to the house they're heard and seen at all times, since they never can be too careful even in times of peace. "I think those girls are falling in love with Naruto Uzumaki. This is so fast. Sakura, there is something you should know about Naruto's parents that was kept from the civilian council for safety reasons," Inochi says glumly and with a sad look, since it brought up memories of his late friend in Hokage. "What is that, Yamanaka-sama? Please, just Inochi, I really hate formalities." His parents are Kushina Uzumaki, Princess of the Whirlpool, and Daimyo of Whirlpool, and Minato Nazumaki, our late Lord 4th Hokage. He says sadly, remember the day when he found out the 2 of them died sealing in the fox and his own son. Sakura can't believe her ears hearing that knowledge. "We have been trying to kill the 4th son all this time. What kind of monsters and villains are we? I am now guessing cause the enemies they had from the 3rd war. His heritage was kept secret, especially since the civilians can't keep a secret," she says, choked with tears and sobs. "Well, yes, that's the reason, but your question is, why would you attack a child in the first place, even if he was the fox reincarnated and did so yourself? I was tempted to put a kunai through your throat. Only once I found out you had a daughter did I stay my hand from slicing it open and draining you in the Hokage's office," Kauchi says with a little venom in her voice and murder in her usual loving teal eyes. "Honestly, I was looking to only hurt the demon. I didn't think the boy was the jailer. Most people do not know this, but my husband was killed because someone put a seal on him to try and kill the boy. I have always blamed Naruto and the fox for that. I was blind by hate and what everyone else was saying about the demon and all the deaths it caused, but I will move on and protect him when I can. I am done hurting him. I want to protect him and help him have a loving home and family that he never got," she says with a level voice, yet slight sobs broke from her lips as she explained herself. Inochi smiles and laughs, which confuses the women. "What we going to do about fact our little girls are falling in love with Naruto? I know he is from 2 of noblest clan, 1 even a founding clan of this village, and 1 of another clan. So when he gets to Chunin, the council will enact the CRA. That means Clan Restoration Act. He will have to have 3 wives per name, since he has 3 clan names and 10 for his dujutsu. Actually being the last of 3 clans, he can choose as many wives as he wants, not just the 19 he is forced to get. Sakura quirks an eyebrow. What do you mean 3 names? You said 2. Who is the last name? Inochi smiles and chuckles before saying, Naruto is related to 3 of the 4 Hokage. He is the last male senju on this planet as well. Minato was from the 2nd Hokage wife side but an orphan after his parents died in the 2nd Shinobi War. Naruto is actually Naruto Senju Uzumaki Nazumaki. Sakura faints at hearing this, so does Ino and Sakura, who listen out the window. Since they were curious about what was so important that they had to be kicked out of the house, and decided to listen in on the conversation. The 2 girls wake up quickly with nosebleeds cause that means they wouldn't have to fight over Naruto and could both be with him when they get old enough. As the both developed a crush like Inochi said they did. Well, we better become strong so Naruto likes us, since there will be 17 other women that will grab onto him and we want to be the top females and have the most time with him. Ino says with a deep blush on her cheeks that rivals a blood rose. I don't think I could share Naruto though, besides with you Ino it will be so hard to do that, 17 or more other women he has to have. Sakura said with a blush deep as Ino's that goes so cutely with her hair. They look at each other and decide they will worry about it later when the time to train begins. They just didn't know that it was going to be so soon and start playing again and having fun since training begins tomorrow. They just didn't think Naruto's family would train them. Not knowing Kakashi's and Anko's hell training is coming. After a couple of hours of playing, the girls go shower from the day and get ready for bed and crawl in the same bed since it was a bigger bed. And they want to be close to each other. The girls are just about to fall asleep as they talk into the night. All the parents passed out from the sake they drank after the talks concluded and the girls went to bed. The girls feel the big chakra spike that brings static to the air, then followed by a huge one that leaves them breathless and thinking the same. They have the same thoughts. That first spike of chakra was small, but there shouldn't be one in the village, especially at this time of night. That other one was huge. It was only a second, so not to cause panic. It must have been a signal. Why signal someone? Maybe something happened. We will find out tomorrow since the parents will know. Yet it was as calming as the chakra as the time in the office as Naruto unlocked his eyes. Maybe Naruto needed help. If he did, the parents and ninja will help him, not to mention the Hokage. The girls snuggled together, enjoying the other, just protecting each other and feeling safe at home. Not knowing that Naruto and Hinata are sleeping together in a couple minutes. Since it has been a long day for all of them. Inochi wakes up to a pounding in his head from all the sake that the parents drank, which was more than he should have, to be truthful. Then the blast of Naruto's chakra, since he felt it earlier and knows it is his, yet it cured him of his headache and hangover. He rushes out the door and comes upon the scene as the Anbu flickers away. The third asks him to get to the TI compound. He has a busy night. Soon as Inochi body flickers, he sees a level 10 alert up. That is only involved when in wartime, so this must be serious threat or situation. He comes into a blank white room with a table in the middle and a man with chakra suppression seals and a paralyzing seal. Inochi looks at the report and is amazed and shocked at the report. Naruto saves Hinata Hyuga and cut this man's fingers off and had him on his back in under 2 seconds flat, which most Jonin shinobi can't even do. Kid is beyond good and he found a new friend and she likes him too, from what the Hokage and Anbu had seen. As Inochi turns to the Kumo ninja, he notices the guy is panicking since the Yamanaka are famous for their jutsu, and he puts his hands together in a hand sign and whispers, "Mind-walking jutsu." Soon as he says it, his mind leaves his body as it falls into a chair and he is sent into the mind of the ninja. He starts exploring his mind and finds that the council in Kumo told the ninja to kidnap her. Even the Raikage didn't know about this mission the council set up behind his back, and that the Raikage had banned kidnapping of bloodlines. And Inochi gathers the memory and then creates a copy to be removed as him and memory leave. He sets the memory to a device that will play the memory for review and to prove that the village did nothing wrong, and if the Raikage or his council try anything they have proof of his mission, and to help protect a cage as a sign of respect and trust. "Naruto-sama, can we talk please? It is very important. I really want to talk to you about your eyes. You know how special they really are to you and everyone in the world," Kazu says while Naruto is asleep and pulls his mind into the seal, all to Naruto's amazement and shock. "How did you pull me in? I was fully asleep and was having a dream, and I hear your voice in the dream, and then I am in here in the seal with you? Not that I am complaining though, I really like seeing you, Kazu-chan. I was dreaming of training with Ino-chan. Sakura-chan and Hinata-chan. Though I am curious what is so special about my eyes, I had an overload of information while in the Hokage's office when they first activated. Naruto says surprised he is in the seal. Well, your eyes are from the rabbit goddess Kaguya. She was the mother to my father, the sage of the 6 paths, and his brother, which I never met since he was dead by that time I came to existence. She was also the 10 tails, the Jubi or Kugeki, her name in that form. She had the power of all of us since we were created from her body and chakra and soul. After the sage sealed the Jubi inside himself and her body in what you call the moon to save the world from destruction. I think you will be able to use the Jubi's power if it ever came down to it and control it, unlike Kaguya, Kugeki did. Also, since I'm sealed, your power is about 100 times stronger than my own and 10 times more than my father, which at his prime was barely able to seal the 10 tails. I also want to say, seeing how you have handled this village's hate and not have any hate in your heart and wish to bring peace to this world. There was a prophecy that my father said, I will tell you more later, but I believe it was talking about you even if it was 10,000 years ago. You are my father as a Jinchuriki and as the rabbit goddess in her prime. I love you, Naruto-kun. I want to be by your side forever. Maybe when you're older we can be mates if you accept me. Kazu says at the end with a big blush that is almost as bad as Hinata's was when she kissed Naruto's cheek when he rescued her. Naruto is amazed at this, more to her confession, since all the knowledge of the sage is passed to him. You love me, your jailer, the person that is keeping you locked up and from enjoying the world. The reality, your freedom, were all stolen from you, and you love the one who is keeping you from it. Naruto finishes confused and tilted his head. Yes, I have seen your heart. It is pure like nothing I have seen in my 10,000 years of life on this earth. I do not see you as a jailer or my prison at all, and never will. Only as my friend and the man I love who will bring peace to this cursed shinobi world. Naruto, I will always love you and I will wait, and maybe we can be together in the real world if you let me, but only after you become strong enough to survive breaking the seal and freeing me. I want to train you in a few fighting styles to mix together so it can't be copied by the Uchiha and their thieving eyes. Speaking of them, a claimed dead one, Obito Uchiha, who was Kakashi's former teammate, was the one who unleashed me 5 years ago on the night of your birth. I only know it is him from the interactions from when your mother came to visit at the training ground Kakashi trained under your father. He pulled me out of the seal after using you to get your father away from your mother and made me kill your parents. I am sorry, Naru-kun, so sorry I can't even fully express that. Kazu breaks down crying and sobbing in his chest like it was her lifeline. Naruto holds her close. I will bring him to justice the right way and make him pay for all his crimes towards you and my family and this village. Naruto says as he wraps his arm around her and slips the seal on her ring finger and kisses her forehead. He starts petting her head to try and help her calm down and stop crying and show her happy side he knows she has. Kazu is surprised by the kiss on the forehead and where the ring ended up, since it was on her ring finger where the engagement ring sits, and stares at him confused. I would be honored when older to spend my life with you, Kazu-chan. Naruto says with a smile that's true and love in his eyes. Kazu smiles and stands up and says in a soft tone, I have made it so time moves slower in here, so an hour here is a millisecond outside, so you can train to your heart's content. Your godparents are taking care of your physical training. I will tell you the paths you have from my father. 1. Diva path. Attraction and repulsion using gravity is called almighty push and universal pull and planetary destruction. The first 2 are almost self-explanatory, but almighty push you can focus on one person or a burst around your entire person. Universal pull is you can only pull objects in that you focus on and can pull them from a distance of about 500 meters. For now, as you get used to it, you will be able to hit small targets and increase the range. Now the final one is only in an emergency situation and away from your comrades, since it destroys everything in an area the size of this village. Planetary destruction, you send a ball of chakra into the sky and it uses gravity stronger than Earth's to pull everything but you into the center, and then you close your hand and the ball explodes, causing the entire ball to collapse and shatter and fall to the earth. 2. Asura path is an attack and defense path as well. It's also used to create any type of weapons and shields from your body. You can add limbs and weapons made out of pure refined chakra to your body. So you can make a cannon that shoots pure chakra at someone if needed, which most likely can damage or kill them if you hit them with either enough chakra or in a vital spot. 3. Human path. Ability to read minds. This is easy to explain, you only need to lock eyes with people. Since your eyes are special, people will be drawn to them and won't resist the pull. There is another ability to this path, but since I know you are not a fan of killing your enemies, you won't use it. It tears the soul out and you learn everything they know and have all their memories. 4. Animal path. Ability to summon any summons known to man and including the tailed beasts if they are free and not sealed in anything or anyone. They come inside you after and join me in your mindscape. Yet that is your choice to let them come in your seal. With the part with summon though, you have to find the contract and sign it though. 5. Petra path. Absorbing chakra, best for when jutsu are launched at you and the people you care about. The chakra you absorb then are added to your chakra reserves. Since I am inside you, I bet even a tailed beast bomb, our strongest attack, you should be able to absorb easily. We will have to work on what and how much you can absorb as well though. 6. Naraka path. Summons the Hell King. This can heal and kill or bring back someone or 1000s from the dead within 24 hours of death you want, and is a good integration tool. Since it acts also like the human path. Kazoo, why am I so special? It feels like cheating with all this power. I wanted to become strong on my own, not like this. I hate all this power. When I got my eyes, I learned every jutsu that was created, even private ones people made. It is wrong. I am no better than the Uchiha, I might even be worse. Naruto explains with a whiny face and a sadness in his eyes. Naruto, this may be cheating, but you don't have to show everything at once and keep things for yourself and in private, like the 6 paths. Leave for yourself and your precious people. You will be a perfect shinobi and a god among mortals. Do you not want to be a god among men? Asked Kazoo with a smirk and a glint in her eyes, knowing what he will say. Not really, cause then everything will be too easy for me. Like I even know every seal and jutsu created under the sun, and my elemental control for each is perfect, so I can draw water out in the desert or sand in the middle of the ocean. It is wrong to have this much power. I get it handed on a plate and everyone else has to work for it. Their blood, sweat and tears are nothing to me since I got this. No, I won't use my gift that way. How will that stop people's hatred? I will only be hated for how powerful I have become. It will cause many people to hate me for what I am. He says with a sad tone and looks down as if his eyes are a curse and not a blessing. Naruto, I am proud of you more than you could ever know just from what you said. I can see you want to work to where you get strong on your own. That alone proves you won't fall to being all-powerful and are worthy of the eyes you somehow got. I know that you unlocked magic as well that you will have to train, and I can't help you there. You know the spells, but to practice them is different. I also have no talent for magic, that is beyond me. You get 6 more summons as well from this, but you will find them in time. They might come to, since you are the only magic user left in the world, they will be drawn to you. Your parents left you a great legacy. So did the sage. You are his reincarnation mixed with his mother. I know you will not let them down. You are in a sense immortal, as well as your wives will be when you mark them as your mates. Kazoo says as she hugs him and kisses his forehead, then his lips gently. Naruto, sleep tonight. We will train when you are stronger, just don't use your paths yet. It could get unwanted attention since no one has had that power since my father. Kazoo says in a serious tone that was close to a demand, not even a suggestion, so it ain't up for argument. In the village hidden in the rain, a man sneezes and feels a shiver down his spine that makes him worried. I am no longer the only god here fighting for peace. This new god is superior to me. But my way is the true way to peace for this cursed world. A man with the purple rinnegan says to no one yet from the shadows. His close friend the Angel of Aim heard it and gets worried since he is worried, and yet she feels as if the plans they made are not the right way to achieve peace. She leaves the tower and flies above the city using her paper wings that gave her the name the Angel of Pain. Yet she hates this title since she is not an angel, or so she thinks. She is really starting to hate what the group they made as teens have become. Time skip 4 hours to 7 a.m. At Training Ground 7 near the Memorial Stone. 4 families all meet up. The other 3 are surprised by the Hyuga main family being there as the training gets underway. First is learning to unlock chakra, which Naruto already did when his Heaven's Law activated, or so they thought, not knowing he has had it unlocked since birth. The Hyugas are amazed at the sight of the new dojutsu and agree to keep it quiet till he reveals it to keep him safe from danger. The 3 girls take about 4.5 hours to unlock their chakra, since most children unlock it when they are around 8 years old, when they are about to start their training then. Not at the age of 5 like they are now. They then learn their affinities for later in training since they just unlocked chakra. Sakura has a earth and water, the perfect medical ninja affinities. Ino has a water and lightning, which is a perfect mix to complement each affinity she has if she can combine them in future attacks or eventually make shadow clones. Hinata has water, wind and lighting, something that is a surprising to say the least. The parents are all impressed their kids are dual and triple in Hinata's case, but her family is mostly earth, so her clan's main stance will be harder to master. She may have to use a different style of the Hyuga clan, which won't be good to the elders' minds. She may have to change the style to suit her needs and body. Naruto, well, his card first floats up in the air defying gravity, then explodes in a black and white colors, and it shows he has every type, even bloodlines. They think it is cause his eyes, but what they don't know is that it from being a direct descendant from the god of death and the sage and his mother. Everyone for the next 3 months work on expanding their chakra control and strength and stamina and other arts of a shinobi under the teaching of their parents. Kakashi may seem like a lazy ass, but his training is almost worse than what Anbu go through. By the end of the 3 months, the girls can use the Shadow Clones jutsu and only make about 3 clones each, since the jutsu is a Jonin level and is draining on their chakra. They are using them to help build fighting styles and control, since everything the clone does come back to the original except the physical aspect of training, since they are only clones. The attacks on Naruto seem less and less, even to the point of non-existent, but they are still there. Even if they do happen, the attacks are more violent, like the last one where Naruto is tied up and used as a target dummy for jutsu by 3 Uchiha Chunin that don't care about the laws concerning him practiced by the Uchihas, since their families are in the police force. That attack all died when Itachi Uchiha appeared with his cousin Shisui Uchiha, and since they always respected Minato and Kushina, they wanted to protect their son with everything they got. They teach Naruto the body flicker elemental version. Time skip 4 months. Another instance, he finds himself being rescued by a blushing Hana and her mother Sume Inuzuka when a group of the unmarked masked Anbu tried to kidnap him from his favorite ramen bar, one of the few places he can eat in peace or at regular price. They start coming to the training ground with their brother, son Kiba, and his partner Akamaru. He become fast friends with everyone and tells Naruto he is the alpha of the pack and he will always fight with him, not against him. In turn, Naruto tells him of his burden. Kiba laughs, saying, "No wonder you smell of a fox, and to be honest, this village should really treat you like a hero from protecting us from the fox demon." At that comment, Naruto grew mad and punched Kiba hard enough to dislocate his jaw. "You ever say anything bad about Kairubi and it will be that last thing you do. She is my friend and is the one that heals me after every attack, every stab wound, and was there when I needed someone." Sighing and frustration, Naruto takes a deep breath and comes down before speaking again. "I'm sorry I hit you, Kiba, it is just I don't like anyone talking smack about her since she was forced to attack the village." Kiba also apologizes, and most the girls are feeling proud since the strongest of the tailed beasts is a woman. Which the praise causes Kazu to smile and grow in ego in the mindscape, which makes Naruto smile a bit. Time skip another month. As time goes on, he meets Choji. He is part of the Akamichi clan, a group of big-boned fighters that hate violence unless to protect their village, family and friends. They have only 2 things that are taboo to their clan, that is calling them fat, then taking away their food. Something Kiba learned the hard way when he called Choji fat one day. He was put in the hospital with both arms and legs broken. Then there is Shikamaru, a lazy kid from the Nara clan who would rather watch clouds and sleep and play shogi than train in his clan's shadow techniques, yet is a natural at them and is a genius with an IQ of 250. He is smarter than anyone of his clan and, to be honest, a natural leader and a better strategist than his father. He's loyal to a fault and thinks everything is troublesome to care about if anything is wrong about Naruto. Both kids find out the burden of Naruto and don't care and see him for him and understand how he will defend the fox from insults, which is worse than what Choji did to Kiba, and protect his friends from anything to keep them safe. Time skip another month. Shino was the last to join the group. He joined when Naruto saved him from a group of kids tried to kill his colony of beetles he kept with him at all times, since they will eventually become the colony he uses in battle. The kids were held at dual sword point from 2 short sword that had curves in the blade to block other swords in them and then break other swords. Shino says to Naruto after he finds out his secret, that since his clan the Aburame use bugs that live inside us, I couldn't rightfully judge you for being a jailer to the 9 tails, and since you protected me, I will ask my father about creating an alliance with your clans when it is time to revel them. Nazumaki-san, Naruto covers his mouth and whispers with a smirk. I am kinda impressed that you figured that part out so fast, but considering that since I am a mini clone of my father, I am not really all that surprised. Only thing is, please do not tell anyone yet, okay? It could spell danger to me and my precious people. Shino just nods and pushes his sunglasses that cover his eyes that almost fell so people could see his hollowed eyes, since it make most people hate the clan or shy away from them. Naruto invited Sasuke to join after Itachi brought him over to train. Sasuke just left, saying it was too below him to train with losers, especially a clan less orphan like him. Even if the pain of having no friends was evident in his eyes as he turns away to walk back home to train with his father. Itachi explains that Sasuke is actually a girl, and since girls in the Uchiha are considered weak, she henges into a boy, so not to be judged as a girl, and her name is Naori. He hopes that one day, if possible, for Naruto to break down her walls and give her something else to believe in other than what their father tells her to believe in. As time goes by, the kids are getting stronger and stronger and becoming a group of fine shinobi in training. They actually are stronger than most chunin already. The Jonin that attacked Naruto a while back are always now 20 feet behind him in town, and when the three kids Ino, Sakura and Naruto split up, they each follow one. Naruto is not pleased but lets it go. By the time the Ninja Academy starts in 3 years, the kids are already at Chunin level or even Jonin level, hard to tell without the experience. They all want to enjoy the time as kids before the days of missions and death come. The kids all started their elemental training 2 years before the academy. Now they all have at least 5 jutsus for each of their elements. Shino has earth and fire, which goes against his clan, while Choji is earth, wind and yang. The wind element surprised everyone since it is so rare in the land of fire. Shika is water, lighting and yang. All the kids know how to do henge, substitution, clone jutsu and shadow clone jutsu. They all can now create 20 shadow clones and still do 10 C-rank jutsus, that is just the friends, not including Naruto. Naruto is on a completely different level since he is mostly doing stuff with seals at the moment, getting an area for them to train in private since most people try to wreck his training at public grounds. He has been able to make a special room in the house that acts like a time chamber and has a slowed down time, and so time in there seems longer, but is just like his mind, time runs slower in that room alone. Time skipped 2 years and 4 months. On the first day of the academy, the rookie 8. Naori has not joined yet since she has only trained with her clan, well, mostly her father, but lately her brother has taken an interest in her training, which makes her happy. Meet outside the class, all ready to go. They all are stronger and taller than most kids their age. Considering most kids are 4 feet tall, the rookie 8 all stand around 4 inches 11, whereas Naruto stands at 5 inches 4 due to Kazu helping fix his bones and muscles, which every night by the end of training are mostly broken and torn. The gravity seals he has on is about 1,000 kilograms on each limb and 3,000 kilograms on his chest. A weight by regular means is impossible for average shinobi, even Kakashi can't handle it. While his resistance seal is like walking with 40 times normal gravity and 600-mile winds forcing him back. This helps for when he takes them off. He moves faster than most Jonin or even the Sannin in their prime, which is scary for some people. Then again, he is something almost out of this world with what runs in his blood. Naori is staring at the kids from the shadows. She is about 4 inches 10 due to her training with her father and brother, who, since she won't join the group, stepped up her training, so she is not left behind since she has been training with her brother. More than her father, she isn't like most Uchihas. She is not arrogant and thinks she is a god above everyone else like most the clan does. She sees them all happy and feels more alone than she does with her entire clan, since she only has her mother and brother that she really talks to, since she really avoids most of her clan due to their attitude. Naruto sees the pain in her eyes and feels her sadness and steps away from his friends and walks up to her and asks with a huge foxy smile, "Would you want to hang out with us? We all want you to. We know the truth about you, Naori Uchiha, and won't judge you. We understand why you are in the henge. We only want to be your friends and invite you to train with us, so when we train together and be the future of the village. We think that you would be a great addition to the group, and I want to see you happy, not so sad. It hurts seeing a friend so sad," Naruto says while looking Naori in the eyes with his icy blue eyes that draws anyone in, which makes her slightly blush. "Why would you want to be friends with me? Especially after what I said last time we talked. I was such a bitch and you're willing to give me a chance. I have never had friends before. Can you show me how? I would really like to be friends as well since I never had any really," Naori says in her henge. Still scared to let it drop, especially in public. Of course, that's what friends do for each other. Do you remember all the names, or no, it is okay if you don't? Ino is the blonde in the purple with the long hair. Sakura is the pink-haired girl, a civilian yet stronger than most shinobi clan-born kids. Hinata is the Hyuga with the bluish and lilac eye color. Kiba is the one with the dog whose name is Akamaru. Choji is the big-boned one. Never call him fat, it very well might be the last thing you say. It is a taboo subject to him and his clan. Kiba found out the hard way and ended up with both arms and legs broken. Shika is the pineapple-haired looking one. He is lazy but a great friend and natural leader like his father. Shino is the quiet one with glasses and trench coat. His clan specializes in bug styles, as is his clan. I am Naruto Uzumaki, as you know, and all I can say is welcome to the group Naori Uchiha. He says with a smile and holds his hand out for her to shake. Naori smiles as she says to Naruto, "Nice to officially meet you, Naruto-kun. I am Naori Uchiha, second child of Makoto and Fugaku Uchiha, as you know. Can I meet your friends now, please? I have no friends and would really like to meet them," she says with a blush and a hopeful look in her black eyes that seem to absorb all light. All the while looking at his ocean icy blue eyes. "Of course you can, Naori Uchiha. They will be your new friends as well." Naruto turns to his friends and waves his arms and says in a half shout, "Hey guys, come over here, come meet the new addition to the Rookie 8, so I guess we are now the Rookie 9. This is Naori, but she is in a hench to gain respect from her clan since they look down on the females of their clan worse than trash. Her guy name is Sasuke, which we will call her that during school so her cover is not blown. Please treat her with respect like you do me or anyone else. She is a friend and precious to me already." This caused Naori to gasp at the thought she was precious already after 20 seconds of talking to Naruto. The whole group comes over and gives her hugs. From the girls, the boys keep the guy image up and bump fists. After the introductions are made, they as a group they walk into the academy and to their class to find seats all together since they are all friends. Naori goes for a window seat to avoid the Sasuke fangirls that try to crowd him like the plague since they all have a crush on him and don't understand who Sasuke really is. Naruto sits beside her and smiles his foxy smile, and then Shino beside him, so the seats are taken. She smiles at them as a way of saying thanks. The fangirls that come in glare at Naruto and Shino because of this since they wanted those seats since Sasuke is so dreamy. They continued until they felt Naruto's icy eyes glare right back. This caused most of them to have shivers from the sight. Most of the civilian kids sit away from Naruto because they remember what their parents said about him. As the bell rings, the two Chunin instructors walk into the classroom. The first man Naruto sees has a slightly darker skin tone with a deep scar running across his nose with a brown pineapple hair like he was a Nara. His name is Iruka Amino, a Chunin that asked to teach this year because he was one of the few that likes Naruto and his friends. He has never seen Naruto as the fox since he actually knows how a kunai and the scroll it is sealed in are two different things. He doesn't judge Naruto for the burden he has. In fact, he is proud of the boy and sees a hero like the fourth Hokage wanted him to be seen. Even if the fox did kill his parents that night years ago. The next person that walks into the room is a man named Mizuki Bakanata. He has bluish-white hair, creamy white skin that looks like never-seen battle. Yet his eyes are angry and his heart is filled with hate for the 9 tails that killed his entire family when his parents went to fight it, and for his younger sister that was stepped on when the fox appeared in the village crushing their house. He is like the village and sees Naruto as the 9 tails inside him. As he looks at Naruto, he remembers that night and starts planning on how to make the boy fail and drop out. If he somehow survives the 4 years here of the academy, then the scroll plan will work and Orochimaru, his true leader, will have the scroll and he kills the demon, and maybe Iruka too since he likes the demon and seems to want to truly help the demon since he likes the boy. Naruto picks up the ill intent towards himself and looks into Mizuki's eyes still filled with hate. Flashing his heaven's law, seeing what he has planned out everything in his head. It was easy for Naruto to pick it up what was going on in his head. He decides to play his game. Though he first will report it to the Hokage so he knows what will come to pass in the next 4 years. He starts moving his hands above his head in Anbu code to his friends since Kakashi decided it was a good idea to teach them all this for when in the field. So in case they need to have quiet communication they can still plan. Itachi heard Kakashi taught them it, so he taught it to Naori, especially if she becomes friends with Naruto and his group like he hoped to happen, and it did. Mizuki is going to fail me over next 4 years to steal the forbidden scroll, then plan to kill me and Iruka when I give it to him. While taking the scroll of sealing to the snake Sanin and traitor to our village. So to say that man is on the top of my shit list for what he did to my mother not once but 2 times, and now this is an understatement. I will tell the third Hokage, but please let me do this alone. But I will see if we can all get this as a mission towards our records as a group, since we all know what he is going to do now. He stops and looks at all his friends. They all nod to agree to let Naruto handle it, the girls all with a sad and worried look. All the guys except for Shikamaru has a jealous look, since they want to help him kick his ass, since they can now see the hate in his eyes. Naruto does a hanged shadow clone in the shape of a bug to leave the class through an open window towards the third's office. To go talk to the third and ask if it can be a 4-year-long C or B rank for him and the rookie 9, since they are the future of the village and are all together as one, since they are the rookie 9. No one gets left behind or forgotten. As the clone heads to talk to the third Hokage without anyone noticing, which is surprising since there was a poof of smoke from the clone. Iruka finally settles the class down with his famous demon big-headed jutsu. Then clears his throat as he talks in a normal voice. Hello everyone, my name is Iruka Amino and this is Mizuki Bakanata. At the introduction of Mizuki's name, most the class giggles, quiet. Anyways, we are your senseis for the next 4 years at this academy, training you to be ninjas of this country and the village hidden in the leaves. As Iruka drags on his speech and the plans for the class, most of the kids start daydreaming about what their future holds. The rookie 9 minus Naruto are all worrying about how Naruto wants to deal with Mizuki alone. Since the man wants him, they decides that they will put their trust in him to do it alone. The clone Naruto sent out reaches the Hokage office and flies through the window and lands behind the Hokage on the ground before releasing the henge of the bug and back into Naruto. As a silent poof of smoke goes off the Anbu and are at instant attention till they see it is Naruto and relax, since they know he is like a grandson to the aging Hokage and would never hurt him. What surprises them is what comes out of Naruto's mouth. Lord Third, we have defiler playing in the leaves of fire that smells like snakes. The third hears it behind him and knows it means in an instant. There is a traitor to the village and is working with Orochimaru, his ex-student. He looks at Naruto and points for him to sit in front of the desk in the chair that is meant for longer meetings so guests can be comfortable. The Naruto clone sits and explains what the original Naruto felt and read of Mizuki's mind and his plan and the promission for the Rookie 9 to all make it a C or B ranked mission over the next 4 years, since they all know about it now. The third caught the 9 word and decides to ask. Rookie 9, I know your friends, there was only 7 of your friends and yourself. Who would this new person be and how did they gain your attention? Naruto, I didn't know about the 9th friend when I saw you training yesterday with your friends. The third inquiries with a raised eyebrow that almost disappears under the Hokage hat. That would be the Uchiha in my class, Sasuke. We were able to make friends before class today had started today. I confronted him when I saw a look of loneliness on his face and eyes. Itachi tried to introduce us before, but he was uninterested before since he only trained with his father, but since he started training with his brother we asked if he was willing to train with us, since Itachi comes and helps with our training on his days off and before they train. He is part of the group now, so he part of this plan, since I won't let my friends be left behind, since we are the future of the village and all hold the will of fire. Naruto says with a huge fox smile. This makes everyone in the room pale and have a slightly worried feeling build up in them. Cause if the Uchiha had a prankster like Naruto was in the clan, who knows what could happen. Shivers pass down everyone's spines and the Naruto clone catches the feeling passing through everyone and smiles even bigger. This only made he shivers worse. The third smirks and smiles after the shiver passes and tells the clone. I will grant this mission, but there is no pay due to you 9 not actually being ninja as of yet. The plan you have is okay, but is a little risky and has little chance to actually work the way you want it to. Are you sure you are okay with being dead last then doing the deed? Even if we set up and fake scroll for you to steal. Kakashi and Anko won't be too happy when they find out about your grades and will almost try to step in and deal with Mizuki before you get to. The clone nods in understanding but shrugs and says to his grandfather figure, to protect my friends and village. I Naruto Uzumaki Senju Nazumaki will do this mission and will succeed or die trying. It will be done. Third Hokage-sama. I will be able to deal the Kakashi since he is a little lazy about that stuff and he would be proud that I am taking the chance to do this. Anko will be harder to convince, but maybe I can tell her when he is caught that he was a spy for the snake pedo and is all hers when he gets to T and I. Again the people in the room shiver as the thought of Anko getting her hands on Orochimaru's spy and what she would do to him when she gets her hands on him. Everyone offered a prayer for Mizuki's soul on that day. Naruto says, bowing on one knee and a fist over his heart like Anbu does, showing his true allegiance to the Hokage and the village. As the clone looks up, the Hokage nods and the clone dispels by stabbing himself in the heart so the original Naruto can find out what happened and what was said in the room. Meanwhile, back in the classroom, as class is let out for the day, everyone starts walking towards the training grounds that they have been using for almost 3 years with their families. Naori stops suddenly and looks to her clan area, thinking she will have to go home where only her mom and brother acknowledge she is female, and gets a little depressed at that thought. She did always want her father's approval yet never gets it. Hey Sasuke, come on, we have something to tell you. Okay, so come on, it will be quick, it is important though and you should know as our friend. Naruto says a little ways ahead of her. As Naori turns around back to her new friends and runs to catch them, everyone walks in silence thinking of plans to deal with Mizuki. When they get there they all turn towards each other and relax. The girls all sit on the posts a little distance away from the boys, all sit in the shade of the big trees watching the clouds to let Naruto and Naori have their talk. They knew that was coming since they all went through it before, so best to give privacy for it. Naori, you can drop a henge here. No one will judge you since this a private training ground the Hokage gave to us rookies and our families can use till we graduate and is covered in a privacy seal I already activated when we got here. As Naruto finishes saying that, there is a poof of smoke. Instead of Sasuke, there is a girl standing same height as before but with hair that looks like Madara's, with a beautiful figure and a huge blush that even rivals the blood rose that grows in the land of tea. A silence ensues and then Naori jumps at Naruto and wraps her arms around him as she buries her face in his jacket. Thank you for accepting me for who I am. This is the first time I have been out of that henge since I was 5, roughly about a month before I met all of you with Itachi Nissan. Like I told you earlier, my father and the men of my clan don't accept women as fighters or as ninja, so I grew up hiding who I am really. She stops talking and realizes what she is doing and blushes. Then as she looks at Naruto's body, it is solid like a rock and so tall that she has to be on her tippy toes to even look him in the eyes. She is blasted back by a nosebleed from thoughts that would put the pervert Jiraiya to shame or ever think about writing in his porn books. Before she hits the ground a few feet away due to the force of the nosebleed, Naruto rushes over and catches her before she can hit the ground. As he helps her stand back on her feet, he smiles and says in a gentle voice, "Well, since you were honest with me, I will be as well." He pauses before letting a breath out. "I am known as a Jinchuriki. I have the 9 tails sealed inside me that destroyed this village 8 years ago on the day I was born. Also, my mother was Kushina Uzumaki, who was container before me, while my father was Minato Nazumaki, the 4th Hokage. Well, I am guessing that Kazu-chan killed certain people during her forced rampage. That is the reason Mizuki-sensei is planning to sabotage my academy time, make me dead last. Just to get me to steal the scroll, then kill me and maybe Iruka-sensei as well, and bring the scroll to Orochimaru the snake Sannin, a traitor to the village. I convinced Hokage-sama to let us Rookie 9 handle this together in a way, but I am the only one that will do anything since he is only after me and not anyone else. We will all have a C or B rank mission when this done on our records by time we graduate from this academy," he says with hopeful look, wondering if she will accept him and not hate him for the burden he has and who he is. Naori looks at him blankly for about a minute, then blushes and mumbles something too quiet for him to hear. "Huh?" he asks, a little worried she might hate him. Since the second he saw her true form, his heart sped up a bit. "Thank you for being a hero to this village. I see you as a hero and not a monster or as its reincarnation," she says as she tackles him and kisses his lips with a chaste but deep kiss most kids don't know about at this age, showing she is a bit different than most girls. With a blush redder than before, she runs away, activating her henge as she run back home. Naruto has a small nosebleed after the kiss due to her tongue in his mouth. Kiba mumbles to himself and the other boys, knowing that Naruto will be able to hear him anyways. "You get all the girls, try and leave us some, will you?" Everyone laughs and the girls look a little mad, sad as they aren't brave enough to kiss Naruto like that yet, but they get over it as training starts. They all spar and do more element training and more chakra control exercises. Not noticing that Iruka has been watching them from the shadows in the training grounds with a smile since he crept into the grounds with them, since he followed them. Since he had something he was curious about, now thinking to himself, I am glad that Sasuke or Naori can come out of her shell. I was worried she wouldn't. Ever since Itachi came and explained what was going on with her, I was kinda worried about her, but Naruto and his friends have eased my mind about this issue. Naori is running home thinking to herself with a heavy blush on her face. I kissed him, I kissed the boy who gave me strength to be who I really am and who accepted me for me and saves this village every day with his own life. From what he says and sounded like the Nine Tails didn't want to attack, something must have forced it to. The question is, who would do that? I am falling in love with him. Oh, this is not good. Father will never approve of this since what he holds. Father always said to avoid him, yet Mom and Itachi said become friends with him. Maybe Ni-san and Ka-san will know what to do about this since I'm so lost about this. She comes to the outside door and hears yelling inside. She can tell that it's her father and brother fighting like they do every time Itachi misses a clan meeting for his village duties as an Anbu. She then decides to wait and not to listen in since it always gives her a big headache and is sad about how her family is really like. She wishes her family was a bit more normal, not so angry. Soon as the yelling stops in the house, Itachi comes out and looks a little disappointed till he notices her and smiles down at her. Why, Nei-san, what has you so happy? Did you make a new friend today, or was the academy that good for you? He says with a small smile, knowing full well what happened since he used his summonings of the crows to watch over her and saw how her and Naruto's friends all got along and seemed to become fast friends. She beams at him and says while so excited with a little bounce to her as she exclaims, even better than that, I have a crush on the boy I made friends with today. He is the blonde boy you tried to introduce me to. He saw through my henge and told me of his burden and offered to let me train with him and his friends. They all accepted me for me and not the false image I have set up to appear like most Uchihas. Ah, Naruto Uzumaki Senju Nazumaki caught your heart, did he? What do you think of the burden he carries? Do you see a hero or a monster most of the village sees? Itachi says with a smirk and twinkle in his eye, seeming to know what she will say anyways. Ni-san, I see him as a hero of this village. Always will I have seen what this village has done to him, even our own clan, and will stand by him the whole way, and I never want to leave his side. She say with such conviction that something that was thought impossible happened to her. Her Sharingan activated, then went to her Mangekyo Sharingan with the atom symbol as the design with 3 rings, then blurred as it spun again, reversing the colors to make the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. It now has 4 atoms in it with a pinwheel over top, while the colors reversed to shows it is different than any before ever to be seen. Even Madara's eternal Mangekyo Sharingan wasn't like this when he was in the village. Itachi is surprised and happy. There is finally a way to cure the curse of hatred that runs the clan. She now just did something amazing and revolutionary. She changed the way to unlock their eyes, even if he hates how they are unlocked. Seeing his sister unlock them in such a way is revolutionary and is proud of her. He smiles and tells her with a calm voice, ready to see your awakened power of our clan, yet you got the final level beyond what I or any of our clan has ever had besides Madara Uchiha has achieved. She nods but confused, and he produces a mirror to show, gasps, it is different. She looks up at him. What in the hell? How is this possible? And when did I get this? I know my eyes were black when I got home. Nei-san, you got it just now, talking about Naruto-kun and you conviction to stand beside him, and what that is the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. A level never seen. The way you gotta keep it hidden. Okay, but let's show them you got the single Tomo Sharingan. Since that will be revolutionary in itself. Itachi explains as she is slowly calming down. Naori cuts the chakra to her eyes by about 10th. It turns to only a single Tomo Sharingan and walks in the house with Itachi calling in front of her. Ka-san, Tu-san, we have news of how we can get the Sharingan. Both their parents walk in the room and see Sasuke, with the single Tomo in each eye. How did this happen, Sasuke? Their father asks, never seeing her for her true gender even when she was born, since he only wanted boys and thought girls were weak. Itachi was the one that answered the question since Naori seemed disappointed her father wasn't proud of her. We think she got it cause of her belief in her new friend she made today at the academy. She talked with so much passion and conviction her eyes awakened. Itachi explains with a monotone voice that shows he is angry at their father for not caring about her, only her eyes. Since no one has ever done it this way. Her father scoffs and walks away since he thinks that is impossible. Since never heard of that before, so he dismisses it as a fluke and excuse. While her mother comes up and hugs her tightly, proud of her for breaking the curse of hate that she hates as well, like her son and his cousin. Who is this friend that you have so much passion for, Naori? She teases her daughter, taking a guess since she thinks she knows it is who is in her class. Since there is only one person who can do that in the village, it is Naruto. Naori blushes and says in a shy, stuttered voice, "Naruto Uzumaki Senju Nazumaki." Her mom smiles brightly before exclaiming in a cheerful tone, "You fell in love with my best friend's son, huh?" Fugaku walks in just as Makoto says this and knows exactly who she is talking about. Yet for some reason he was angry about who helped her do this, even if he was one of Minato's best friend in the past. Yet thanks to how the clan has been spiraling down since his death, he is angry at Minato and any of his blood. Her dad comes in and slaps her quickly across the face and screams right in her face. "No child of mine will go near that scum of the earth. He is trash, a nobody and useless waste of time and money. He should have died with his whore mother and failure of a father." He slaps her again as a reminder to not disobey him as he leaves the house to the clan meeting and their plans they had going on in private. Where he and 75% of the clan was planning a coup to overthrow the village and claim it as their own. Itachi and Shisui were planning on stopping it, but Shisui died by Danzo's hand and had his right eye stolen. Before he died though, he gave Itachi his left eye to keep safe. Makoto and Naori were innocent of the coup, but the village elders want all but Sasuke dead, since they then could groom him the way they want him to be. Naori looks down in shame since all she wanted was her father to accept her, but she just made him more angry than ever. She starts to cry and the tears fall. Makoto senses this and hugs her daughter and brushes her hair lightly like she used to when she was a child. This helps stop Naori from crying. Itachi realizes his mission must happen tonight or Naori might do something just to please her father in a bad way. "Ka-san, Naori ne-san, I have a mission tonight, it is important for the village. Please go visit Naruto and his family, do not ask, just please go and trust me, I will escort you there before my mission starts. Stay there for a few days, if I fail this mission the clan. Especially you two could be in danger, I need you two to be hidden from view for a few days till everything calms down if my mission goes sour." The two girls look at him and nod and run and pack quickly and come back, and Itachi is putting his gear on, finally his Anbu mask. He escorts them there right to the door. Kakashi knows what is about to happen since he is Itachi's friend and is in his Anbu unit, so and wishes him luck when the three show up at the door 20 minutes later. Naruto, who was coming back from training, feels the sadness in Itachi's heart and tells him to gain more conviction and belief in himself. "The will of fire will guide our hand and carry you swiftly through this mission. You are becoming an agent of peace, help break the cycle of hatred and free yourself of hatred and do what's right. Now spread your black wings and fly to your freedom, crow." Itachi was almost to tears when Naruto said that. He then bows, letting a tear fall away before saying to the boy, "Naruto, watch out for my sister, she loves you very much. Even if she doesn't quite know that yet. Become a better son to my mother than I was and protect them both for me, okay? Can you promise me that on your life and you, Nindo, as a future ninja?" Naruto could see the tear flowing from under the mask and bows in return, then frowns as he whispers to the crow Anbu. "Itachi senpai, I promise on my life I will protect them and love them like they are my own family. Your sister is precious to me, nothing will harm her while I am around. I will protect them both with my life." Naruto flares his heaven's law as he locks eyes with Itachi, looking into his mind to understand what he is going to do. Itachi, knowing what he can do, shows him everything easily with no resistance. Since Kakashi trusts him enough with the knowledge of the Dujutsu and his powers not to spill them. Killing your clan off except your sister and mother because of the coup your father is planning will stop a civil war, and maybe a fourth shinobi war if you let this continue and not end it. Such a selfless person putting his village over his clan. Danzo ordered this, not the Hokage, because he threatened your family and you all to perish if you didn't do this, and he murdered Shisui to steal his eye, all for a special jutsu. He will be brought to light of his crimes to your family and this country and village, I promise. My brother, I swear on my chakra and life." Naruto thinks with a troubled and sad heart. Itachi, I will make sure Danzo Teme is brought to justice and you are seen as an agent of true peace and a true hero of the village. Not what the village will see you as at first, they believe only what they want to. Naruto says with a serious tone and chakra rising slowly in his anger, before he sighs and controls it before it gets too much and noticeable. Itachi nods and disappears into the night to protect the village and save his family from death by killing the entire clan. Naruto shuts the door and taking a few deep breaths at the door. He then turns and looks at Naori sitting at the table with her mom while looking at Naruto with a confused look, yet Makoto also had a confused and sad look in her eyes. With a small smile and a nervous look towards the women, he walks over to a closet and pulls out a few boxes labeled Anbu cameras before bringing them to the back door and deck. Naruto goes to the backyard quickly and summons 10 clones to grab the recording equipment from the house and leaves to strategic places around the Uchiha compound to record everything, in the event that Danzo does something, and when they bring him to justice they won't have any surprises. Especially if he thinks what might happen after the clan is dead beside 3 of them. After the clones take off, he goes back inside and sits beside Naori and Makoto and hugs Naori in a tight hug, saying to them both with a sad voice, trying not to break about such a loss of life that will happen soon. You're welcome to spend as much time here as you want. We are family, and we don't abandon family. Nothing will ever change that, not a thing, no matter what happens. Neither of you will ever be forgotten and never left behind. The Uchiha ladies are surprised by the words but hug him and thank him for that, since at the moment it was needed. They say it will only be for a couple days, since Itachi will be back in a few days and he will come grab them after his mission is done. Since Naruto is holding Naori, she doesn't notice him slightly flinch at their statement, but Makoto does and looks a little down and looks close to crying, since she has figured out the mission from what Naruto said just now and what exactly was the reason. She remembers when the military police thought Shisui's death was suspicious and Itachi was the main suspect in that, since he was always with him and they were missing clan meets. Which now is because they were going to stop the clan. Naruto pulls away and looks her in the eyes and decides to see if she wants to train to keep her mind clear. Naori, would you like to do some training with me in our dojo? It will be a good way to tire us out for the night. We both have had an exciting day and this might be able to wear us out. She nods in his chest, then says, not wanting to meet his eyes at the moment since it was a weakness to cry. I would really love that, Naruto-kun. May I ask where is it, as I didn't see much of a yard outside when we came up to the house? Naruto smiles and then in a simple tone says to her, it is underground, with seals protecting it from outsiders and from destructive jutsu up to SS rank. My family doesn't want to blow up the village, since Anko and I use very destructive jutsu as we train and I tend to abuse shadow clones. Naruto explains as they walk to a door near the back of the house. The door has a symbol for dojo on it in black ink with a big seal array on the door. Naruto shows her the way there. As they go down the flight of stairs, a tingling sensation passes over the pair. When they get to the bottom and Naruto opens the door, Naori is amazed by the sight that is front of her. Believing it was huge was an understatement, it's at least 10 square miles and extremely high. The dojo looks like it has its own sky from being so tall. Naori turns to Naruto, hoping he would explain as to what she is seeing. Naruto smirks at the look she has before explaining everything in simple terms. It has expansion seals so we can use long-range jutsu and techniques that needed to be in an area of long range, since I use big ones a lot closer to S rank, even SS rank. May I ask if you have figured your element affinity or affinities yet? I think you might use fire currently, right, since your clan uses that best? He asks in a questioning tone. Uchihas naturally have a fire elemental chakra nature. Do you think differently, Naruto-kun? She quizzes with a confused look, seeming almost sad that she may not be the case. Naruto smiles at her, then explains why he asked her that. Well, I think you are like your brother and mother. Both of their fire affinity is actually their secondary one. Channel your chakra through this chakra paper, please. I will explain what the results are, since I have done this before a lot since it confused us for a while. As she does what she is told, it surprises her when the first half of her chakra paper crumples, a quarter burns white and black flames, giving off intense heat, and the other quarter gets damp, almost soaked in water so soggy it almost became a paste. Naori looks to Naruto to explain, while he smiles at the results. You are actually a primary lighting type with 2 secondaries, blaze and water. I have never heard of a blaze affinity this strong without a bloodline. So, you have 2 offensive types and 1 defensive. That's impressive, especially with our age and for just starting with chakra. He says, excited for her, since no one has blaze for a very long time, especially that strong besides him. The next closest he knows of is Anko and her powerful fire nature, similar to the second Hokage's incredible water nature. Naori seemed happy that she was like her mother and brother and had a chakra bloodline besides her eyes. Which again is impressive in itself. What about you, Naruto-kun? What are your affinities? To answer her, he grabs a piece of chakra paper and channels a tiny amount so it doesn't explode like an explosive tag. It only explodes like a firecracker instead, which still surprises Naori till he explains it with a straight face. I have every kind of affinity under the sun. That is why it exploded that way. So you are always going to be better than me. So I was a disappointment like my father thought. She says, looking down to the ground like a failure. Disappointed in herself for not being stronger or better since she wanted to be better than him. She feels a finger lift her chin a bit and feels something touch her forehead, a soft kiss, and a hand run through her hair. It causes her to blush at the kiss and the feeling of his hand running through her hair. Like her brother and mother did when she was sad. Naruto whispers to her as he was still close to her, "It is only because of my heaven's law." It is a step-up version of the legendary Rinnegan Dujutsu of Sage of Six Paths had. You are perfect the way you are. I wouldn't want you any other way, Naori-chan. With your Sharingan you can copy most jutsu and fighting styles. Be proud of being an Uchiha as I am proud of being your friend. Just don't let pride run your life, okay, Naori-chan? Otherwise you may end up betraying the village and everyone you cared about like Madara and one other member did. I will be there every day for you. Nothing will ever stop me from being beside you. I want to be in your life, every day, all day, for forever, Naori-chan. She looks up and gasps at seeing his eyes activated made her breathless and fall deeper for him. She thinks they are the most beautiful thing she has ever seen in her life. She puts her arms around him, pulling him close, kissing him lightly on the lips in a chaste kiss. They pull apart and nod and turn to the dojo with a hand holding the other's hand. He leads her near a tree in some shade, which is weird since there is no sun. He then starts showing her some low lightning jutsus including lightning arrow, lightning charge, lightning clone, lightning blade, and lightning lance and the shadow clone so she can use them for training. Since whatever the clone learns the user will learn when it dispels. Then for water element taught her water blade, water prison, silent kill, water clone, water whip and water shark bomb. Blaze was a different story as there are not many techniques for it, most just release like Amaterasu, blaze armor, blaze shower, blaze hydra and finally blaze bomb, which was like the water shark bomb but used globes of blaze chakra to explode instead of a water shark. When she learned the hand signs and the chakra needed, she used her M's to copy them since Naruto's hand sign speed was extreme even if he didn't mean to. She first wanted to focus on increasing her reserves of chakra and better control. She may be a girl, but her chakra amount was more like a guy's, so it was slightly harder to control due to her training without the control training first. Her lower chakra control is also due to the blaze bloodline, since chakra bloodlines are harder to control, due to it being more of a release-type bloodline. He walked her through the tree-walking exercise, while balancing a leaf on her forehead. As hard as it was, it eventually paid off. She got to 30 leaves all over her body since her forehead was small and couldn't hold that many. When Naruto told her to rest, she could feel her chakra running near empty. He told her that if she didn't rest, she could crack, or worse break, her coils, which could kill her or cause her to never be able to use chakra again, so she followed his advice. After a rest, and a supper he unsealed from his seals on his wrist, she was ready to keep going. He created a pond using a mastery of 2 elements she never thought possible for a genin. The pond was about 10 feet deep while being 50 feet wide and had a slow whirlpool in it to make it harder to water walk on. For a while she didn't get too far, since she couldn't deal with the moving water and flex her chakra output that well yet. So he made the pool still and she got it faster than ever before. Even more than the leaf exercise and tree walking. He then made her start balancing kunai in her palm, since that makes her triple her focus on her hand and her feet. While doing it at first she sunk to her ankles for a few seconds, then was able to make the correct corrections to the amount she was releasing, so she was standing on the water like it was ground, showing she is a fast learner and more control already. He stood beside her in case she was about to sink too deep, or if her chakra ran out when she had one kunai down. He made her do 3 kunai, and tried to make them all spin together. She started sinking to her knees, so he made her stop, then helps her to shore since she is getting drained again. Due to the sweating on her brow, and she was starting to shake and breathe heavy. Naruto smiles as he praises her on her talent. "Naori, you picked this up faster than even Sakura-chan and Ino-chan. I'm impressed and proud of you for not giving up even when it seemed impossible. That shows how serious you are about becoming a ninja and becoming strong for your brother and mother." He picks her bridal style and walks to a few trees with a little open building that has a hammock and a barbecue for cooking when they are hungry during training. She looks up at him and smiles while snuggling into his chest and breathes in his scent. "How long have we been in here, Naru-kun? It feels like we've been here for at least 12 hours or maybe even longer. I lost track of time since the lighting hasn't changed at all since we have been here." Naruto smiles at her observance and answers. "To be honest, we have been in here for about 20 hours if I am correct. Due to a couple hundred seals carved into the room, time is slower in here than outside the dojo. In the house, outside the room, we have been gone for only 1 minute roughly. It is a seal array that I came up with so I could maximize my training while only being minutes in the house. I am working on it so I can adjust the gravity and the amount of time we are in here, to make it harder to walk, so it forces people to use chakra to move, which helps chakra control and increase capacity and helps promote muscle growth. I eventually want to make it so a year inside the dojo is only a day outside this room. I am very close to doing it, I just gotta figure out the last steps. I have storage seals with food on me and in the building we are in, so we have enough food to last so we can stay down here for about an hour outside, which in here is about 3 months, give or take a day or two." Naori became very worried about how long they'd be alone together. 3 months alone together, are you sure you're okay with that? You might get sick of me like my father. Only to toss me aside like my father did for the most part. I never measured up to him because I am a woman. To be honest, I'm curious why you would help me so much. Like how your family is letting us stay in their home till Itachi comes for us. You're training me in my elemental release and so much more. What am I to you, Naruto-kun? I don't understand why would do all this for me," she says while tears flow down her face and onto the grass, as she fell to her knees. While she looks down, ready to retreat back into her shell like she always does when she doubts herself, she feels his arms wrap around her and hold her close to his chest. She notices how warm he is and can feel a rumble that comes from his chest that relaxes her and makes her feel safe. She then feels his hand going through her hair as if his hand was a brush and his other arm is rubbing her back, comforting her. "I never will get sick of you, Naori Uchiha. I want to stand beside you, as equals, not as someone better than you because I am a male, or for any other reason. For your father to toss you aside like trash just proves he is the lowest of scum there is on the planet or in the universe. I have no expectations of you because there is no limit you can do. You can and will be the greatest Uchiha there ever was. There is only one thing you can be, and that is the greatest you can be. We are letting you stay because we care about you. Your mom was my mother's best friend when they were growing up, and we're on the same genin team. I care about you, and your safety. I am training you because I care about you. I want you to be the best you can be. What you are to me, is one of the people most precious to me, and someone I love with all my heart." He says the last part with a blush and a light kiss to her forehead. "You love me?" She receives a nod and a smile, and jumps at him and kisses him again more intensely than her other kisses so far. "Naruto-kun, I love you too. I know we are young, but I don't want anyone else but you. I will be beside you through all your pain and joy," she says as she keeps kissing him. "Naori, there is one thing you should know. I am being forced into the CRA." A gasp and a sob comes from Naori at this news, since she will have to share him. "Know this, I never will stop loving you. I will treat you like the queen you deserve to be treated as. I have to have 18 other women I have to marry, but I won't marry unless I love them like I love you. Due to my 3 names, my dujutsu, and the fact that I'm the last male of my clans that resides in the village." She recovers a bit and has a small smile on her face as she says to him, "If it means I am in your life, then I can share you. It will be hard, but I will because you're someone I love too." How are you a Senju though? That is what I never understood from when Itachi said it. Your parents are the fourth Hokage and Kushina aren't they? She asks. Naruto rubs the back of his head and explains. Well, it turns out that the second Hokage is my mom's grandfather. When the first Hokage married Mito Uzumaki, the second married her sister, Kurama Uzumaki. They had a daughter they sent to here from the village called Uzushiyogakure, home of the Uzumaki clan. Her name was Kushina, my mother, and now I'm here so I am related to 3 Hokages and an Azukage since my mother never claimed the title. That's the reason for myself being a Senju, and the fact Tsunade is too old to bring heirs to the world. I was thrown the mantle. There is another line I am part of, but that one is from a different being. Shinigami, the death goddess, was actually Kurama Uzumaki in human form. Hearing that, Naori's eyes went wide, seeing as he has godly blood in him, but doesn't care. He is still Naruto Senju Uzumaki and Nazumaki. I understand and still love you, Naruto Uzumaki Senju Nazumaki. The fact you are part god could explain why you can do the things you can do, or the fact you have 4 chakra cores in your body. She says, laying on his chest enjoying the heat coming from him. Naori, may I ask you something important? He feels the nod from her on his chest. If you knew a person, or clan, was going to rebel against the Hokage, and you could stop it, but then be hated by the village, would you still do it? Again, a nod on his chest, allowing him to let a breath out. Naori, the reason I am asking is because that is why Itachi brought you and your mother here, so you wouldn't be hurt during his mission given by a elder council member instead of what the Hokage ordered. The rest of the Uchiha were planning on taking our village down and making it in their image. Now, do you hate Itachi, or not? For what he did to protect the village, you, and your mother. She was crying but shaking her head no, since she was proud of her brother. If my clan was planning this, then as a loyal shinobi, my brother is right to do this. Do you know who ordered this and why? She receives a single nod. Tell me please, I need to know. She begs with tear-filled eyes and tears already falling down her cheeks. Well, the Hokage ordered Itachi to only kill the ones involved in the coup, and leave the innocent out of the slaughter, which really was most of the children and women. Then Danzo Teme said he'd kill everything Itachi loved unless he killed everyone, including the children and women. Itachi said that if you and your mother could live, he would do it. Danzo said that only you were to survive, but I will just tell them both of you are under the Uzumaki, Hitaki, and Hyuga's protection. Hurting you would start a clan war with allies and Konoha's clans. He brought you here to protect you, because he couldn't bear to lose you and your mom. Both of you are his world, and what he is doing is so that you both have a chance to live and enjoy the world around you, and to help prove his innocence later when he will be unable to. What will happen to him now that he is going to kill our entire clan? She asks, trying not to cry, not realizing that tears were already flowing down her cheeks. Naruto wipes some tears away and replies with a sad tone for Itachi. He will most likely have to become a missing ninja, and be put in the bingo book, but with the evidence he gave me and your mom. Knowing the coup was being planned but not the exact details. If my clones have any evidence, then in time we might be able to clear his name and bring Danzo to justice, since he killed Shisui for his eyes to make the council see his ways on matters he once passed. I want to know, will you be an avenger or a bringer of peace with me, and break the curse of hatred that engulfs our nations and the entire world? Will you stand beside me and bring peace to this cursed world? Naruto, I will always stand beside you, now and forever. Now, till the day we die, be it as with old age and kids and grandkids running around, with the other women you will love, or battling for peace against the forces that cause hate and pain, I will never leave your side. I promise on my eyes and our Nindo. She declares with conviction and determination that makes Naruto smile and kiss her lips again, which she happily returns with all the passion she can muster. He smiles as he gets her back on her feet and says to her in a light tone, "Then we better start training for real. I want to see how many clones you can make." She does the shadow clone jutsu and 100 clones pop up. She is huffing a little since she used about 60% of her chakra making the clones. Is that a good amount? Naruto-kun with a hopeful look on her face? Hoping he was not disappointed in her, he nods and set them all to do the water walking exercise while they do hand-to-hand combat. They fight for about 3 hours non-stop, till she almost falls in a faint from no chakra since she was channeling some into her muscles to fight him and his speed, Since the clones can't do physical training for her, she has to do that on her own. He smiles as they stop and tells her gently, "Dispel the clones slowly. I would go with 5 at a time every 3 minutes so you don't get an information overload while you rest and get a headache, because too many dispelling at once could even kill you from the mental strain." As the clones dispel, she feels the memories of the clones and her reserves get bigger with each dispel. By the time they are done, her reserves seem to have almost doubled. Naruto hands her a pill that is white in color, not like the black normal soldier pills. He tells her as he handed it to her, "My own make, it tastes like ramen but refills your chakra fast, and there is no side effects that most soldier pills have that the Akamichi use." The Akamichi clan already have asked for the recipe and will start mass-producing it, since it is better than their own pills that they have been making for years. Which I know they were kinda angry about since they thought they couldn't improve the master pill they made for our village. Not including their special pills for themselves. She takes it and almost instantly her reserves are full again. She walks out on the water with ease, almost as if she was walking on land, and starts balancing 10 kunai on her hand. She then spins them faster than most can see unless you have a dojutsu or are an elite jonin, anbu, or a cage. This causes her and Naruto to smile seeing this since he could see it as well. He then decides to increase her natural stamina and explains, "Now time to do stamina training with seals. This may be a little forward, but I will have to paint them on you, and one of them goes on your chest." He paints 5 seals. She blushes deeply at the last one as it pained on her chest since she had to take her shirt off, showing the wraps she has on her chest due to her hiding her gender. She feels her arms weigh more than she does, same with her legs, and it feels like she is in neck-deep mud or wet cement. Naruto then explains the seals to her. "You have about 100 kilograms on your arms and about 300 kilograms on your chest for now till you run as fast as me." As she starts running, she notices her muscles don't hurt as much as she thought they would from the weight the seals produce. Naruto, guessing her thoughts, answers for her hidden question. There is a part of the seals that repair muscles as they tear and bones heal as they break, and they do it painlessly so that you can keep doing your workout while getting even stronger than before. She finishes 5 laps around the area following a path so she doesn't hit the walls since it was hard to tell. Then 200 push-ups and 200 jumping jacks, then runs through her fighting style after a time which is still lost to her. All thanks due to the lighting and everything else in the seals in the room. She notices that she is able to handle and deal punches and kicks from Naruto, going faster than before. At breakneck speeds that she thought only Jonin are able to do, but she has been trained by Naruto and her brother. So she will hold her own and is only missing the experience need to become Jonin. Yet eventual training with Naruto and his parents and mother, she will get the experience. As the 3 months inside the 2 final finishes in the dojo. Naruto and Naori are ready to leave the dojo since it was time, and she was stronger than most Jonin. Meanwhile, on the outside of the room, a very nervous mom is waiting for them to come out. Makoto was wondering how everything is going at home and in the dojo. She was curious for what was going on at home since she knows that Fugaku and the rest of the clan were planning the coup. She only knew because since she read all the papers that had the plans down on them and secret entrances to every clan area and the weakness of such clans. Since her husband always left stuff out and about in his office. Never expecting her to read them since it was his office. She was the one who gave the Hokage the tip of the coup. She doesn't know that tonight the coup was being stopped and how old friends and family are being cut down while all are done cleanly and silently, no pain. Most of the clan in there were a few guards, but once again were being killed with precision that most people would consider skills of a master. She did figure it out though after Naruto flinched an hour ago when they said Itachi would get them after his mission so they didn't have to stay long. She is thinking of Naruto's and Naori's relationship. She is glad they are so close after only 1 day of being friends. She smiles hoping they are okay. It has been an hour since they went into the sealed room. The seals in the dojo are explained from Anko and Kakashi, who only knew the very basics of the dojo seals. She is not surprised at the amazing seals Naruto came up with. Look at his father and the seals he made as a level 90. Kushina was also a level 100 seal master. Though being an Uzumaki it made sense they were always called seal masters. It seemed Naruto already rivaled his father's sealing and close to his mother's abilities with seals. She was curious to what was next for him to learn, maybe Minato's Thunder God technique that let the village win the Third Shinobi War. She didn't know he already knew it, just had to make his own seal formula. Then Kakashi dropped the bomb and told her that the coup was being stopped by Itachi tonight, confirming her worst fears. Since the coup was planned for 2 days later. The door opens up and the two 8-year-old kids walk out almost 4 more inches taller. When they went inside they look like they are the age of 13-year-olds, not the 8-year-olds they are. Naruto standing close to 5 feet 9. While her daughter, who is standing around about 5 feet 2 and her hair is short and looks like Itachi's, she didn't have her more slightly wild hair she had before they went in. As she sees her daughter and the look in her eyes, she knew Naruto told her the truth about them staying here, since he knew it as well, it seemed. Naori runs over to her mom and starts crying, not about the clan but how they lost Itachi. All thanks to a few arrogant members of the clan and Danzo being so bloodthirsty and greedy for his own good. The last, loyal, Uchihas and start whispering as they cry, and Makoto come to see her daughter's feelings for Naruto are as deep, if not deeper, than Minato and Kushina's feelings were for each other, which sometimes seeing those two in private made her a little sick, being so lovey and divey. She loves him more than life itself. She threw her hate away to stand beside him and to follow him as a woman of peace like he wants to be. She forgives Itachi and wants to become a bringer of peace like him and Naruto. I am so proud if her, and the marriage contract Minato and me drew up is still on, since they love each other and the CRA. I wonder how she will take the news her marriage was planned even before she and him were born, almost 3 years beforehand. I also know of the other 3 contracts with Ino, Sakura and Hinata, so it works well for them all. They won't have to fight for his total love, just who gets the most time with will be fun to see later on. Naruto, any news of what is going on or not yet? I am getting worried about Itachi. Makoto asks, hopeful some more survived but had a feeling in her gut that there is only 3 left. Naruto seems a little sad and whispers to the Uchiha women. Only you and Naori and Itachi are left, but Itachi had to leave the village, so you two are the only ones that are considered loyal Uchihas. He says with a depressed tone for the unnecessary slaughter of an entire clan. Oh fuck, that butcher Danzo just got there with the root Anbu and is stealing eyes from men that had unlocked the Sharingan. Including your husband, father. The bastard is even doing with a smile on his face. Makoto was beyond pissed. Was this his way of being powerful, and the only way for him to gain power was to steal the eyes of dead Uchiha? She was worried they were going to come for them. Naruto sees her look and promises they won't be touched as was promised, and since he is such a high-sealed master, the compound was so protected a tailed beast bomb could hit the walls and it do nothing to them, since all jutsu that hit the walls will actually help power the seals, since they absorb any chakra thrown at them. If anyone tried to climb over the walls, they are paralyzed, and any chakra they have is sealed. They had 4 clans protection, even if only 2 people and 3 were not known completely yet that they had an heir well to the public, that is. It meant value, and the council could not call for deaths since they are under protection. It is now clan business. After the clones come back, when Danzo and his men leave, they drop the evidence off before dispelling, and Naruto comes over and starts gathering the videos to get ready to show the Hokage. Just as he is about to leave, an Anbu with a blank mask comes to the gate and tries to enter to search for the Rouge Itachi or the 2 missing Uchiha. The root agent is paralyzed as she touches the gate due to not being keyed into the seals, and Naruto gets the root agent before people on the streets could get to the agent. He searches her body for seals, finds 2 of them, then destroys the seals of loyalty and unspeakable seal on her tongue, freeing her from Danzo's control. He then body flickers her and the evidence after he made copies to give to the Lord Hokage to keep hidden and interrogated off record to avoid Danzo finding out and try to cover his tracks of the crimes he has committed. The 3rd Hokage looks pleased and is ready to act in from what is found. Naruto stops him quickly when he speaks from his kneeling position. Danzo still has uses yet, and besides, if we act now and kill Danzo, that is only revenge. We need to pile more evidence against him to make sure nothing happens and he does not slip away and try to join some other village with intelligence of our village. Just remember, Hokage-sama, we want to bring justice, not revenge. Like I said earlier, if we acted now he could slip away, or it is only in revenge. I have a hanged clone sitting in his pocket as a grain of sand, so he can sneak in the compound and plant recording tags and find the main base as well as the layout of any bases he has for when we strike. He says with a fox smile that was dubbed his prank face. It causes a shiver to run down the old man's body. Naruto, he just ordered all of the clan dead and stole their eyes to put in his arms, and his right eye has Shisui-kun's. Why wait, we can move now and end him now for good. For what more evidence? This more than enough to make that old damned warhawk burn in hell. Hiruzen says with hands to his head due to overthinking in his anger. Naruto still has his fox smile on and that causes the Hokage to shiver. Lord Hokage-sama, if we act now it will be more out of revenge and hatred, not justice. Sasuke and his mother agrees with me since they were in my clan's home when Itachi dropped them off. Since 6 p.m. last night we all agreed to build evidence and get him later. There will be a time for his death and I have special ties to the goddess death so I can guarantee he will suffer in hell when he gets there. At the mention of the special ties to Shinigami, the Lord Third Hokage is interested in what Naruto means, so he decides to ask, Naruto, what do you mean that you have special ties to the death goddess Shinigami? I also thought Shinigami was a male god, not a female one? Have you contacted the Shinigami and made a deal with her? What exactly did you do to have these ties? Naruto pales slightly since he didn't want anyone to know about this besides the people that become his family. He does think of the Hokage as his grandfather, but still with a sigh he explains. My mom Kushina is the daughter of Kurama Uzumaki and Tobirama Senju, correct? The third nods to Naruto and waits for him to continue. Well, what people did not know is that gods have a tendency to come down to our planet when they are bored and they find love every 100,000 years so. When Shinigami came down she implanted herself inside an Uzumaki, changing herself for the baby in the womb to live a mortal life. She was born as Kurama Uzumaki and fell in love with Tobirama Senju, and thus my mother is the daughter of Shinigami. So due to that I am a demigod in that aspect. The Three Roads' jaw drops so far down it breaks the reinforced floor under his desk and passes out after that shock on his aging heart. After a few minutes the old Hokage wakes up and just shakes his head, getting back to the original reason Naruto came here. Okay, we won't act yet, but soon as you both become Chunin we will act, no later and no sooner, unless he becomes a real danger to the village. I have noticed something else as well, it is more about you. Naruto, have you grown since yesterday? What have you done to yourself? You seem about 4 inches taller and more muscled too. Hi Hokage Gigi. I have my own gravity and resistance seals. I currently have about 1,500 kilograms on each limb and 4,000 kilograms on my body. My resistance seal is at level 20. Which is 2 times what my father trained it to use his jutsu that ended the war. Naruto explains with a deadpanned voice since it was something not really important. The third was kinda worried how he was growing up too fast. Due to the world they lived in it is hard to stay innocent and carefree. He wished the boy was a child, not a man in a growing boy's body. Even if he is almost the size of a 14-year-old boy yet only almost 9 years of age. As Naruto nods and disappears in a lava-style body, flicker his Anbu in the room, take the root agent to tea and I to find everything they can about Danzo and his plans if they can. As soon as Anbu leave, his assistant comes in and says the council is meeting and has started due to the Uchiha clan being dead. The third was very pissed about this meeting being called. This is his village, he can only call the meetings, yet the civilian council does so brazen. He storms off to the council room down the stairs a floor and blasts the doors open with his chakra pressure alone. Everyone inside feels the ki pouring off him. The civilians start choking and sweating, including his 2 old teammates. The shinobi side sees the man who in the second gained the title God of Shinobi. None of the ki is directed towards them, so they are all smirking at the civilians, yet one seems unaffected, the pink-haired Sakuri Haruno, who for the last few years has been agreeing with the shinobi side of things, like she had a change of heart or someone influenced her to. As he crosses to his seat with calculated steps behind the council, he notices Danzo is missing and knows exactly why but won't reveal that. Where is Danzo Shimura? He says with a venom in his voice that would kill any low-willed man if was directed to him. His advisors Homura Mikakado and Kaharu Utatane flinch as they look at each other. Before Homura says with seat pouring down his face, Danzo's war injuries were acting up last night, so he stayed home since he wasn't able to move all too well without pain from the injuries, since there is phantom pain. We have better things to discuss than where one member elders and of the council is located, do you not think? Like where are Sasuke and Makoto Uchiha? They were not accounted for at the site of the bloodbath. Also, we should mark Itachi as a missing ninja rank S for murdering his clan in cold blood with a kill on sight order. Most of the Shinobi Council know why the bloodbath had happened, since they all could feel it every time they saw how the Uchihas looked at the village with disgust. Yet they knew the Hokage was going to work something out. Yet Itachi acted on his own, it seemed, for the most part, or was there more? Most ninja had one thing burned into their minds: look underneath the underneath. Civilian council leave this chamber, this is a shinobi matter. The Hokage snarls with anger at his teammates and the eyes to match his anger. The council starts protesting because it was the Uchiha police force that protected civilians. This involves a shinobi that killed them, so it does not matter what you think you should hear. This is my village, my rules, I am the Hokage after all, so get the hell out of my sight. If you keep protesting, I will cancel the civilian council completely and personally execute you. The third yells with anger that got the council as a whole to sweat. This is a different Hokage than they're used to. Sakuri stands up and echoes the Three Roads ruling, telling everyone to leave. They look at her confused most times. She wants to hear everything but listen to her since she's one of the biggest speakers of the civilian council. The third Lord Hokage is right, it is a shinobi matter, only let's leave them to their planning and to our safety. She gets up and leaves, the rest follow like puppies following their master. The third smiles under his hat and nods to her, which only she sees. His advisors try to stay, but he points to the door in a motion to get out. Shocked as they are, they get up and obey. Shooting looks over their shoulders since this never happened before. Soon as the door closes, every one of the clan heads and Jonin council members in charge of divisions that help run the village show up from the shadows since they were called by Anbu for this meeting. They all start sitting down, including Anbu Commander Dog, who is Kakashi, returning for a bit till a better Anbu commander could be found. Ibiki, who run T&I with Inochi, and few others that run other divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, last night the Uchiha were killed off except Sasuke, Makoto and the killer Itachi. Itachi acted on mine and Danzo's orders to save this village from civil war because the Uchiha were planning a coup. All but one of the shinobi council were surprised that a coup was planned. The Hokage continues like nothing happened. Itachi will be marked as a missing ninja till his trial. He is marked ranked S and he will not have a kill on sight order due to the fact he was forced to act as a loyal shinobi of the village. My Anbu have found 10 men that's eyes are missing, so we think someone defiled the bodies after the bloodbath. Now this is all a SS secret. Any word of this to anyone outside of this room is killed on sight, and so is their families. He says with a calm voice for the most part, but snarled the last part. Why the people's families as well? It seems a bit extreme, do you not think? A random shinobi in charge of supplies to the hospital asks. No, we have to stop the leaks before they happen. This is the best way to, since their families will be killed along with them. I know where Sasuke and his mother Makoto are, and they are safe with family friends. They are with Naruto Uzumaki's family and where they're all night and will be staying for the future. The Hokage says with a smile since he trusts Naruto and his guardians to keep them safe. They were with that demo. The Jonin never finished as all clan heads threw kunai and they all hit a vital part to his body, killing him in seconds if not instantly. Most of the other Jonin are amazed they would kill him for almost saying the word demon. Remember, my law is always in effect. Naruto will not be called a demon. It'd be good. Oh, remember that considering I made that law on the day of his birth. Anbu acquire his assets and housing and sell it. All of it is to be paid to Naruto upon selling. As is the law that was in place almost 9 years ago. Someone clean that shit up. I don't need to deal with that later. The Anbu take the body away and then follow to carry out his commands to the letter. Every Jonin that heard what the Hokage shivered and swore never to say it in public. Most did not mind the kid due to know how sealing works. Most actually like the kid since his pranks when not used on themselves is satisfyingly funny when you see the bright side, knowing the kid is the jailer and not the demon itself. But a few lost a lot of family to the fox's attack, so they hold it against him. A few that got close could see the three-prong wheel in its eyes that comes from the Mangekyo Sharingan. None of the late clan had that eye though, and no one ever seen if Kakashi had that one in his implanted eye since he never takes his headband away from his eye. More or less the boy is hated by one side of the village and loved by the other, with a select few from each side. This council meeting is dismissed and nothing will be repeated to anyone or pain of death in public in front of the entire village along with family if you have any. As everyone leaves, the civilian council wants to have a private meeting with the Hokage about Sasuke and Makoto. He denies the meeting and he goes back to his office and starts the bane of a cage, which he was tempted to start it on as he pulls a black file down he didn't see before he left to the meeting. It shows a Naruto cartoon doing the victory sign saying, "Key to defeating the paperwork." He quickly opens it. First piece of paper with a target, the next makes him cry. Waterfall tears. Shadow clones. A note under it says, "Hit the target with head Hokage Gigi." Even if he, the god of shinobi, got outsmarted by an almost 9-year-old about paperwork, he smiles while saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," and hitting his head on the target over and over for about 5 minutes. He realizes that Naruto still sees him as his family member. As he creates 6 clones to do the paperwork, he goes to his private training ground. It was time to become the god of shinobi again. To get back into shape, since this will cause ripples and maybe danger for the village without the Uchiha around. He feels a storm is coming, and if he isn't ready he will die in the rage of the storm. To show he is still ready to defend and kill for his village and to spread the will of fire to the younger generation that is training to fight and die for the village and their families and friends. Back at Naruto's, he body flickers. To see a very cute Naori on his bed cuddling his pillow and looking out the window waiting for his return, since she already missed him by her side. He stays quiet when he hears her talking to herself, looking at the moon. "Naruto, you are the man I love. I hope you can love a girl like me even if in private. So I'm not used as breeding stock. Itachi, my knee-san, I hope you're safe and thanks for protecting us and being my brother." She slightly panics when she feels arms wrap around her and a kiss lands on her cheek. "I do love you, Naori Uchiha. I love who you are as a person. Sasuke is only a mask till we can get rid of the stupid civilian council and the power they have seized from the Hokage and try to make our lives living hell now and later. I will be beside you always now and forever. Nothing will change that. Itachi hears your prayers and has become an agent of peace and has spread his black wings and flew to being as free as a crow," he says as his breath is in her ear and causes a shiver go through her. She spins around and tackles him and hugs him tightly, not wanting to let go. She grabs fistfuls of his shirt. He slides his hand through her hair and parts the bangs from her eyes. She looks up and pets his cheek right where his whisker marks are. She is surprised when Naruto closes his eyes, pushes his hand against her hand and starts doing a purr, clicking noise in pleasure. She smiles and kisses his lips. She then rests her head on his built chest and moans, feeling his arms around her. Naruto picks her up, then carries her back to the bed so she can go to sleep before tucking her in and joining in the bed beside her and wraps his arms around her, and she spins to snuggle in his chest. The two children fall asleep in each other's arms. As the two kids rest, their 5 eyes are watching them from the door. Makoto with her onyx eyes, Anko with her dark chocolate eyes and a dark gray eye with a headband covering the other eye. All smiling, leave them there to sleep. Letting the kids be kids, the grown-ups go and drink sake in celebration of the two getting together, and the coup stopped before it could be carried out and causing a war to break out in the village. Though all thinking about the future wedding with smiles on their faces. Makoto and Anko were the last ones awake since Kakashi had returned to Anbu since his shift started soon. He went to bed early. "Anko-san, I have to ask. I know you have been here since he was a baby. Also that Kushina was your sensei for a bit after Orochimaru abandoned you. Has Naruto always been like this? Like what, Makoto-san? There are many things that Naruto has done and sometimes I fully do not even understand myself, and I helped raise him. Well, to the best of my abilities, that is," Anko says while having another shot of sake. He seems to have answers for everything and is able to know exactly what to do in every situation. He seems to be a perfect mix of his parents, and then moments he is not like them at all. I knew them both really well. Kushina was a tomboy through and through, yet reckless and then calculating the next minute. Minato was a hopeless romantic and someone who never was reckless. Naruto, he is always calculating his next move and seemed to know things most people cannot even fathom. He knew of the coup and of Itachi's mission to kill everyone? How can he know such details before even we do? Makoto inquires about the stuff she has seen of Naruto that night. Anko was smiling at the way Makoto described what she witnessed and her observations about things around her. Well, it is very easy. Have you noticed his chakra level at all? Makoto nodded and still was confused. Anko sighs and continues talking. He is the 3rd Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Mito Uzumaki was the first, then his mother Kushina Uzumaki was the second. He is able to talk to Kazu, who is the Kyuubi, who is female by the way. So I feel glad that the most powerful person on earth is a female. He learns things from her from when she is young. He also have a dojutsu that makes the legendary Rinnegan look like a cheap trick. His is called Ten no Hosoku, or Heaven's Law. This apparently downloaded every seal and jutsu known and forgotten into his mind, and don't get me started on his chakra control. He thinks so well cause I guess Kazu made his brain think so fast a second out of his head is like a month inside his head. For the last questions, well, it seems his eyes, if he wants he can read anyone's minds, and unless they have good mental barriers he will get any details he wants. He is better at mind reading than any Yamanaka. We actually think his IQ is well over 500 and normal Nara is around 200 while Itachi showed the amount of 160. Makoto was shell-shocked to say the least. You're saying he has a dojutsu that makes the Sage of Six Paths seem like a joke? He can read minds and has every jutsu and seal in his head. Not to mention that Kyuubi is a woman and trains Naruto. Or the fact his mind is faster compared to anyone recorded, or the fact he has 2.5 times the IQ of a Nara. Anko simply nods and hands the bottle since she knows what is coming. True to her quest, Makoto slams the entire bottle in seconds. Then proceeds to black out from too much booze. Anko simply lets her sleep there since she looks comfy and doesn't need to be moved at the current time. As the next few days go by, the village holds a huge funeral for Uchiha clan, well, the ones that died anyways. Everyone in the village turns up for the funeral. Most clan heads knew what the real story was, so they held indifference yet a slight respect for the only other Uchiha that wasn't there since he protected the village for his freedom to become a missing ninja. He did it for sister and mother, but most of all did it for peace. Yet what all didn't see is on the wall near the funeral was a man with black hair and his Sharingan activated to memorize the scene before him, and maybe the last time he gets to see his sister and mother. With a few tears down his face, just as the man was about to leave, he felt someone looking at him. Itachi turns towards the funeral again and sees the only person who could see him. Naruto staring at him with his dojutsu on to engrave the sight of Itachi crying into his mind like Itachi was doing before. This surprises him since he is under such a strong genjutsu that even the Sharingan would have problems seeing through it, yet Naruto sees him plain as day. Naruto nods and inclines his head slightly, action that anyone would miss or dismiss it for an attempt to hide a tear. Itachi sees it and nods back and leaves in a flock of crows. No one notices. Naori and Makoto are in the front row staring at the mass of graves of the Uchiha clan. They have the sad look on their faces, but in truth they were happy the village was safe from their clan that was planning to destroy the very place they swore to protect when the village was born, a pact they made to the Senju and Uzumaki clans. As the academy started up again a few days later, the Rookie 9 trained less and less together as a group, but Naruto gave scrolls and tips to everyone to train with so that they are ready for anything that happens. Like the Uchiha cleansing, Naruto and Naori told the heiresses the truth behind it, and they understood why Itachi did what he did. Before they separated for the final training session, Naruto had one major thing to tell them as a group, so he gathered them together. As the group was talking among themselves, Naruto clears his throat to get their attention. Everyone, please listen to me for a second. Does everyone once remembers when Lord 3rd Hokage came to our class and took us to the roof of the Hokage building so we saw the faces of the Hokage of the past? He told us that all Hokages are the protectors of the village and the will of fire. For a long time I thought the Hokage was the strongest of the village, which is true, but there is another aspect. They must be willing to throw everything away, including their lives away, in order to protect this village. I believe we as the next generation of ninja hold this will of fire. In fact, I see it all within us, burning bright and ready to show the world the renewed will of fire. Now will you help me protect this village and the people in it from every threat, even within the village, that may come? Will you help me? Exclamation mark quote. The group of his friends as one on one knee as Anbu do and yell as one. Hi Uzumaki Taiko, we fight for the village and the will of fire. They all leave their separate ways. Naori and Naruto head home since the Uchihas moved in with Naruto and his family, much to most of the village's dismay. Since Naruto is still called the demon brat and hated by most civilians. Naruto let his grades slip to last place so no one can guess why and not to appear strong. Since most of the council still calls for his death every chance they get. He is repeatedly kicked out for not paying attention or picking fights with teachers, all for the same all but one teacher it seems. Iruka never seemed to ever get mad at Naruto. There was a very good reason for that as well. Iruka was brought in on the mission details since he noticed Naruto's lack of participation in anything. He was worse than a Nara, which is almost impossible with their sleeping habits. He also started to care for the blonde kid almost like he was a younger brother. So he let everything slip with a heavy heart and a sigh. The pranks Naruto pulled never hit the direct Rookie 9 families but still hit their clans for some of the more arrogant members. The clans and most the civilian population was hit, and even the Anbu headquarters were hit hard. The traps were harmless, it showed the weaknesses and other security issues in the village, something the clans and the Anbu constantly had to fix whenever he found a weakness. He was only ever caught by 3 people: Kakashi, Anko and Iruka. They were the only ones he let catch him, and when he was getting bored being chased by people. Most who didn't even come close to catching him even caught in the act most times. They only thought it was him since he was hated by all civilians and already was an accomplished, was all due to the mask he had adopted for the academy. When they couldn't prove who it was, the blame naturally fell on him. Over the next few years his stunts got so crazy and well planned that it became a class in the academy that only person could teach and not be caught by Naruto. This had caused shivers for most teachers. That person was Anko, since no one else was willing to train in Trap's course since it might lead to new pranksters. Anko welcomed it since there was only one prankster of hell. No one wanted that one was bad enough. So she only had to worry about Naruto's pranks, but she did pass anyone if they got her. One day after getting kicked out along with Naori after they pretended to have a fight, just so they could leave and get some stamina training in since they were so bored in class. They went to one of the southern training grounds that was on the outside of the village walls since they could always sneak past the guards who were always sleeping or playing card games to notice. As they were jumping through the trees towards the training ground in question, as they get close to it, a loud and powerful explosion rocks the area and sends a shockwave through the trees, catching them off guard and knocks them out of the trees to the ground underneath the branches. Naruto was able to recover in midair and stop Naori from getting hurt. After they recover and were back on their feet, they nod to each other and take off. They run towards where the explosion took place and come to a new medium-sized clearing and notice a girl with pale skin and some burnt skin and solid black eyes barely open and a narrower face and a small set of light pink lips. The way she is dressed is like a civilian of the village, hidden in the sand with clothes that provide protection from the sun yet cool enough not to overheat in the sun. There were 4 random bodies inside or near the crater. They seemed to be Kumo ninja who kidnapped her from the village, hidden in the sand, or so they think. She doesn't move, so Naruto jumps down and starts healing her with mystical palm technique. Soon as the most severe injuries are taken care of so that he can move her without causing her any more pain than what she is in, he picks her up and carries her back to the village with Naori right beside him, who had taken care of the bodies and gear. When they get to the hospital here, Sakura's mother works. Naruto calls for help. There is an injured person in bad condition. Sakura, Sakura's mom, comes out as she is a nurse training to become a doctor in the hospital. She motions them to follow her and carry her into a room she came out of. She then tells Naruto to put her down on the medical table so she could examine her better than in his arms. As soon as she wakes up and starts to panic and tries to hit everything near her, showing the kidnap theory as best conclusion. She somehow had managed to make eye contact with Naruto's deep blue eyes. She sees his eyes that are now blue again since he didn't want to scare her, since while using so much chakra to carry her, while trying not to jostle her, his heaven's law was also deactivated since it is creepy unless you know it. She feels like they swallowed her in them and provide comfort and safety, especially in this strange place, and she stops panicking. As he tries to leave, she grabs him and asks him to stay. He nods and sits beside her and holds her hand, so she knows he is there for her and won't leave her side. Naori smiles under her Sasuke henge from the doorway, since she was going to leave but noticed Naruto was not there beside her. She then notices the girl's clothes discarded and in the garbage since they are almost burnt to bits and with tags off, so the hospital could give her some clothes when she is ready to leave. She jumps out the window to go find the other girls of Naruto's group. After all, they all know about the CRA. They also all accept that the 4 girls are all in love with Naruto already, since he was able to worm his way in their hearts so fast. After getting her sizes from the burnt clothes, she thinks about buying her clothes as a welcome to the village, since hospital clothing sucks for style, and was out, and she found the girls as they were about to leave. Naori yells to get all their attention. Ino, Sakura and Hinata, wait a minute, we have a 5th now. Well, I think, but cannot be certain for sure. They gasp in surprise, not expecting another so soon since it was only weeks since they all admitted their feelings for the blonde boy. Well, only to each other, not to Naruto yet. Naori then begins to explain how this was possible. After me and Naruto got kicked out of class, we ran to the outside the village to do stamina training at the outer grounds. As we were running towards the stamina training ground we like to use, a huge explosion ripped the forest apart, and all we saw was her burnt and blooded and 4 other people around her all dead. She was alive. Only if barely alive, mind you, but after Naruto healed her enough to move, we came back and took her to the hospital since he was nervous about healing her. Sakura, your mom is taking care of her, and Naruto stayed behind. The girl did not want him to leave when she woke since he was the first person she saw. I saw her clothes were destroyed, so I thought we could get her some clothes and help her feel welcomed after she recovers, since no one likes hospital clothing. Naruto is still with her. She woke up as we were leaving and wouldn't let go of his hand. He's making sure she fully recovers and so she doesn't panic in the hospital. The girls start blushing thinking about this girl and run the stores to pick clothes for her when she wakes up. Naori remembers the type of clothes she was wearing and matches it to Suna-style clothes. They get her a sandy cream kimono with 2 black skirts that are easy to move around in and the underwear to go with and shorts for under the skirts. They find her some more relaxing leggings and mesh undershirt and white shirts with wind gusts blowing jasmine petals everywhere, also 3 pairs of shinobi sandals. They pay for this together, all splitting the cost, and run off to the hospital to where this girl is. As they get there and come inside, they ask for Sakura Haruno. The front desk pages her using the intercom. Sakura sees all of them and comes down to see the girls with shopping bags. Girls and Sasuke, what are you doing here, with a knowing smile on her face. They explain the clothes as a gift for the girl when she will be able to leave, since it is a welcome to the village and to the NFW. Sakura smiles, hugs them all and bring them to her room where Naruto was keeping her company. She was really proud of the girls. They open the door and Naruto is holding her hand gently in both of his. She looks up and starts fidgeting like she is scared of them. Hey, don't worry, they are my friends, and by the looks of it they brought you new clean clothes, Matsuri. Let me introduce everyone. Ino, Sakura, Hinata and Sasuke. This is Matsuri Hanabira, a girl that was kicked out Suna because she doesn't like to hurt people and would rather be a full-time medic ninja. Naruto says in a soft voice so not to alarm her or make her feel bad. She relaxes just enough to seem calm but still wary of the 3 girls and a guy that seemed to come with random clothes for her. The girls show her the clothes and eventually everyone starts smiling and laughing, talking about Naruto's pranks and other stuff in the village. Matsuri, how would you like to join this village since you have nowhere to go? The 3rd Hokage owes me a couple favors and I can already have a place for you to live if you want to stay here. Naruto explains after she opens up a bit more to everyone there. She jumps up and hugs him, then remembers where she is and settles down. Thank you, Naruto-sama, IWOU. Naruto puts his hand up to stop her before she could finish what she was saying. With a slight frown on his face, he tells her in a gentle tone, I am no one's master and never will be. I am your friend and I will protect my friends. I care about them more than my own life. For them I am willing to do anything, even dying. She is shocked. She has known him for less than 3 hours and he cares that much about her. She starts crying. Tears freely flow down her cheeks as she says, Thank you so much, Naruto-kun. Even if my family has a law, when saved by someone they become our masters. I understand you don't want a slave, so I will be the best ninja I can be without killing. I would love to be a ninja here if possible. If it means I stay with you, I never want to leave you. She answers with a blush that is darker than any rose to exist. This is a blush that the 4 others know so well. They know how easily Naruto can turn anyone into a friend, and for some reason, most girls into a blushing mess and fall in love with him with very little words or time getting to know him. Then I will be back with Hokage Gigi in a few minutes, please excuse me, ladies. He turns to ice using the ice body flicker into the office and appears in a kneeling position that is an exact mirror of the Anbu stance. This was right in front of the desk as he says in a calm tone, Hokage-sama, Naori and I have found a banished and exiled Suna shinobi in training that is our age in an explosion site that happened outside the village, where she was attacked by a rogue Kumo group that kidnapped her when she was banished from Suna. She had used 4 explosive tags she stole to save herself while killing them. She hit them all, but she was in the blast zone as well and was hurt very badly, almost dead actually. I brought her here after I did a field medical ninjutsu. Mind you, just enough so I could bring her here for better treatment. She would like to join here in our village as a medic ninja. The Hitaki family offers her a safe haven and a place to stay. I know she is not a safety risk. I read her thoughts and found no traces of lying or anything of the sort. She was beaten so often it was almost as bad as I was, so I will vouch for her as a person. He says while keeping his head down waiting for the answer. From the Hokage, who was slightly rubbing his temples. Naruto, you are a big cause for my headaches, aren't you? I swear you do this just to spite me. If you trust her, that is good enough for me to trust her as well. Bring her this form for her to fill out. I will be there shortly after this meeting I have in about 3 minutes, so now go before you give me a bigger headache. The third says with a smirk and pained eyes. From hearing a village would beat and almost kill a girl for trying to be a medic ninja. Then on top of that banish and exile her from the country. Yes, Hokage-sama. Naruto disappears in a black ball using the void body flicker. That causes the Hokage to look again. He was surprised seeing a black ball shrink after it seemed to swallow Naruto. As Naruto appears in a black ball and scaring everyone in the hospital room due to no one seeing this body flicker before all the girls react and bring out a kunai. Even Matsuri had one which surprised him, which they all put away since they see who it is and trust him. He comes up and smiles at the girls and bows and says to the girls sincerely, "Sorry for scaring you ladies, I didn't mean to that." He then explains it is a bloodline called the Void. Darkness depends on who you ask. He looks at the girl now dressed so beautifully. He has a small yet noticeable blush and nosebleed. Hokage Gigi gave me this form for you to fill out, and my adoptive parents are giving you one of the many guest rooms to stay in so you don't have to worry about finding a place to live. So welcome Matsuri Hanabira to the group and to the village hidden in the leaves. I will help train you along with the other Rookie 9 as we call ourselves, but I guess it will be the Rookie 10 with you in it. What type of ninja do you want to be, Matsuri? Remember, you can become any kind of ninja you want. He says with a smile that shows he cares and that the choice is all up to her even if he knew exactly what she wanted to be. She smiles brightly and replies to him. I want to be a medical ninja cause I can't stand hurting people, even in spars actually hurts my chest at the thought. I would rather heal them than hurt or kill them in cold blood. She says with a proud look in her eyes about being a medical ninja. Then in 2 days we will work your chakra control to where you can do this in under a second. He say as he holds his hand out with 50 senbon needles he has in his storage scrolls, since most people can block kunai since they are noticeable, but senbon are harder to defend against since that's so thin and small. Yet with proper aim can just be as deadly. They start spinning so fast they are a tornado, then start turning into 2 people and dancing and floating 5 inches above his hand, showing the amount of chakra he is using. Everyone is shocked he can do this, while the kicker is he starts walking up the wall and onto the ceiling. They senbon people still dancing without falling to the floor since he is channeling chakra so much they stay near his hand. He cuts the flow of chakra and catches all the senbon and lands on his feet without making a sound. Which is even really impressive for a ninja. Naruto has a slight smirk on his face as he tells Matsuri, "You will get this down in about 6 months from now." The 4 girls laugh knowing his 6-month training style. They all spent 6 months there before. Then feel sorry for Matsuri, who is about to go through that hell. To be honest, it is the closest it can get to hell on this earth, they feel. But they are all Jonin level now, just missing the experience to rank up and the fact they are only in 2nd year in the academy. They all want to also enjoy their semi-childhood if they were not being trained to be killers. Matsuri looks shocked at the display of so much chakra control. She can do wall and water walking with ease, since that's all she practiced along same with 3 regular jutsu that are needed to graduate from the Suna Academy, which was like Konoha's. May I ask if there is a place to get a joyo? It is what I was trained with since I was a long-ranged and such a crappy close-range fighter. She said with a frown at the thought of the weakness. Naruto knows what she meant and says in a gentle tone, "I will even make you one out of pure Uzutakium metal." Matsuri is shocked that metal is so sturdy that it is 1000 times better. Uzumaki chakra steel, which is already rare. Uzutakium is like legendary. Naruto-kun, where in the world did you get it? I can't pay for it, and why make yourself? Naruto smiles and rubs her forehead. I have about 40 tons of the metal since it is part of my birthright as an Uzumaki. I will give you this for free because you're my friend. I want you to be able to protect yourself and your precious people. I will make it because I am the only one who can heat the steel that hot while having the right tools for this as well. Here, give me a couple minutes and I will design one for you. He pulls a paper out and a pencil, then starts to draw the plans for it. After 5 minutes it is done, which is impressive. They were all shocked at how fast he was writing. They all forgetting he is a LVL 100 SEAL master now. He shows her the plans for the weapon. The cord is actually 3 slim chains that each are 1/4 of an inch thick, with a wrapping of chakra cloth to go over the chains. The cord's chains is about 10 meters long, which is about double the length, but works well for her. With a seal with her chakra signature, so only she can use it, and if anyone else tried to channel their chakra through it, it cause a massive shock through it and zap them before they use it. The end part is actually 3-pronged part, with the middle part being longer to hook into any surface to use as a rope or to grab people and pull them closer or away from allies. Naruto then locks eyes with her as he asks her, "Do you think you could use this well enough to protect your friends and loved ones?" He asks while staring in her eyes to see what her real choice is, and so he can see if there are any lies in her words. "Hi Naruto, I will only use this to protect, never for useless deaths. All life is precious and deserves to be treated like it is that way. I will use your training to be a better medic than Lady Tsunade, Queen of the Slugs and one of the Sannin. I will also help you in your dreams of bringing peace to this world with a healing touch, not a hateful fist or a silted throat that causes more hate. I will never leave you, or your dreams," she says with a passion that could only be described like the will of fire. A slow clapping is heard from the door and the third Hokage steps inside from the shadows of the doorway, since he has been there since Naruto got there as well, since he was curious about this girl, and says, "Well said, Matsuri Hanabira. It seems like you will make this village proud to have you as a medical ninja and as a bringer of peace for this cursed world. Naruto, my boy, I am proud to be your Hokage. I see the will of fire burning deep inside you and your friends. You will be a great Hokage when you are ready. I know this village is well be safe in the hands of the Rookie 10. With that passion to surpass my student and your father and the other Hokages that came before you. I know you will in time. I see great things in store for you." The third says, with a big smile, that all the kids are amazed by and wondered how much he actually heard and seen of the rookies. Now Matsuri is nervous, the most powerful man in the village and who the other villages called the god of shinobi. Had heard her say she didn't want to kill. As the old man talks, she relaxes. It seemed Naruto-kun's dream was known by the aged Hokage and is accepted more than violence. The man trusts Naruto and his friends to bring world peace and end the cycle of hatred. She smiles at her new friends and passes the filled-out form she completed while she talked to Naruto. The old man smiles and welcomes a new future shinobi medic to be to the village. "Matsuri Hanabira, I can't promise you will not see death, but when time comes you will be on Naruto's team so he can fully protect you and make sure that you fulfill the promise. You have my word on that as the Hokage of the village. Maybe you will become the angel of the elemental nations, being the greatest healer." The third says with a bright smile and a voice that you can trust, "I am actually better than Tsunade Senju Ana the Sannin. In terms of medical knowledge, due to my gift, I can teach you a way to transfer chakra, so if an ally has it you may get them out danger faster. By the time your training is done you will have elite Jonin chakra amount or even close to the Hokage's levels." Naruto says that so serious that no one could think he was lying, since he has more chakra and control than even the 9 tails did at full power. Matsuri was amazed Naruto was already better than Tsunade was, then grows a smirk. "Then Naru-kun, I will just have to become better than you since you claim to be better than Tsunade, but I will one day have to see if that is true." She finishes with a playful tone considering the blush she has at that end, yet her voice filled with determination.
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.